I'm good. Good to see you.
No, not that first one, but in this one we are. That's, I mean, that was.
Hey, sir, how are you? Good. How are you?
You're going to go back so you can see how much.
You think?
Lady, how are you?
When do you leave? When do you leave? Oh. I thought somebody was picking up checks tomorrow. Sorry. You don't feel well. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I could tell. Hate that.
Good. No problem.
Hello, sir. I'm doing Yes, sir. How are you?
Waddy?
Hi, how are you? Good.
Yeah, he gave us actually that schedule of.
And I didn't recognize it. He lost so much weight. You're going to get another.
Hold on, here.
Not gonna be able to be there.
Don't think?
I hope you're right.
Out here,
This one? Okay. The bicycle race. We'll just ask the table with it.
How you doing today? Good.
Right. That's why.
What was that about? I can't even remember. All these guys are good. Nobody mentioned it.
Got that glitter on it from
Ooh.
Hey, sorry.
This puppy down. So.
I had to turn mine silent. How you doing today? So far, so
I mean, it's got a lot of good. Come in and see you. Best I can push check. Yeah. There you go.
How are you?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you? Bill, how are you, sir? I didn't recognize you. I didn't recognize you.
Hi. How are you, sir?
I see you.
There we go. Put it right in my pocket.
Okay. The second thing she wrote, and I'm not sure if this is for you or for who, but she just said she couldn't find money for Spillman in the 1-1 budget. So you'll have to do an additional appropriation.
I guess the key, I was mentioning your name.
I'm just reading it.
54.
How about Tuesday?
Well, you're holding out well.
Nice to meet you. It's almost season. That's true.
Yeah, did a lot of water rescue. Plus, well, we did commercial by man. Was it up on Ludlow Hill or? Yeah. I do remember that because there was Thanksgiving SUV and rolled in the pond or something. Yep. I know that. Oh, really? Yeah. I do remember that now just because it was Thanksgiving. Yeah, because I remember somebody said,
She likes coffee.
Thank you.
About you?
It's either plan to go, or it's the state legislators being elected to gain.
Come on, bud.
Contract
You
was
know,
in our
buddy.
packets. We're still not.
Hey, we're worn out.
Because we're not the host agents.
I think the Coke Stadium would be a good place to start.
We all both are.
Sit down.
Everybody ready?
Sit down.
Everybody ready? Calls Board of Works meeting order. Roll call, please.
Member Jane, I'm sorry. Member Donnie Bryant.
Present.
Member Aaron Cook.
Here.
Member Bill Brunner.
Here.
Member Mario Todd.
Here.
Assistant Police Chief Mike Lanning.
Here.
Fire Chief Johnny Tremaine.
Here.
EMS Director Bobby Mills.
Here.
City Attorney Leslie Votaw.
Here.
Utility Director Olin Clausen.
Present.
President Mayor Dennis Carr.
Here.
And myself.
Any announcements? Hearing none. Approved minutes of previous meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Committee reports. Fire Department Chief John Tremaine.
Mayor, the only thing I have tonight, with spring coming on, we're going to end up with the parking issue on the ramp down at Riverwatch. That is a marked fire lane, and I'd like suggestions from the board. We do get the police up there to help monitor that, but need some direction to the board on whether or not we should stripe it. Like some areas have the yellow striping paint on the concrete or not. Earlier in the fall, the Conservancy had come over and they were having issues with people going down next to the riverbank and then pulling up on the concrete and dragging the mud up in there. They'd asked us to, if we had a lock that we could put on and put a chain up to keep them from going down beyond the concrete. And if we leave this up, it's going to promote a bigger problem. I had discussions with Riverwatch personnel about parking on the gravel. But with this chain up, which I just talked to Mr. Seymour, it may come down when the riverbank dries out, but still, there is an issue with people parking on that fire lane, whether the chain's up or down. But just need some direction from the board, if we need to strike this. There is a sign posted, nobody pays attention to the signs, but it's gonna get ramped back up here shortly, so.
What is it, 30-minute parking right now?
It's no parking fire lane
All the way.
on the ramp going down to the boat.
Yeah.
On the riverside.
They've been notified?
Huh?
They've been notified,
Oh,
right?
yeah. I've even had the state guy down with me before, and he's discussed it with them also.
Leslie, can we even enforce that though, if we did put signage or even have police assist?
The land is actually Conservancy land.
The ramp is correct.
Well, I mean, yes, we would still be able to enforce, a street, or any kind of parking prohibitions. As far as striping, I mean, do you think that will help?
Can't hurt.
Well, I think it's gonna be a waste,
Might
of-
deter it.
it's gonna be a waste of paint, what it's gonna be along with the signage.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, how much are we talking to do this? I mean, it's a pretty,
Oh, it's a pretty big area.
yeah.
When did they put that sign up, Johnny?
I believe it was
That's the
early
third,
2000s.
that's the third sign that's been up.
That's
the third sign that's been up,
I mean,
placed
it's
up
been up. I mean, back in 2003, we had this issue.
Are they allowed parking on one side, leave the fire lane open on the other, or how does that work?
It depends on what the width of it is. I mean, I would deter from it because it's not a very wide driveway.
You never get a truck down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd have to back down that thing. They couldn't make
Park
that
on one side,
turn.
you never get a truck past the car.
But again, Les, you said we can enforce our street ordinance on that?
I don't see why not. I mean, the Conservancy is also benefiting from us enforcing it, correct?
Yeah, but it's not under our street ordinance though, because it's not a city street.
That's what I asked about last year too.
So maybe, I guess as far as, then we need to maybe get with the Conservancy District. Because
Could you look into putting some jersey blocks down at the bottom and giving them about a 3 or 4 spot parking spot?
Well, the biggest thing that happens is the customers will actually park on the ramp.
I think it's the workers and him.
They do. There's about 3 cars, the employees, but Johnny's been pretty good at keeping them down in the gravel. But there'll actually be customers that'll park and not asked to move by the operator.
And deliveries are an issue too if you can't go down there with a block blocked altogether.
Right.
Carl?
The piece of paper that me and Mario had received from the court has labeled that restaurant as a permanent land structure. Every land structure that is a commercial building is required to have fire lane protections. Whether you have a street ordinance or no street ordinance, it's required. If you put it in the middle of a 40-acre field, you would have to have a fire lane. That part can be enforced since you have an ordinance that enforces fire lane. So,
Thank you.
I say give them, talk to Captain Mike and let him know, and if they continue to do it, there may be some.
Subject to towing.
Yeah, some towing.
Yeah, we can do that.
It's a safety issue. I mean, you can't get your trucks in there.
No,
Ambulances and everything
if
else.
something was to happen, that's gonna be a difficult situation anyway, and let alone putting cars in the mix, down there, so.
Mario, by the way, all that drift and everything against that bridge, a lot of pressure on that bridge.
Well, Mike was told some time ago he needs to have somebody daily maintaining that drift situation. Now, as the river's going down, he needs to have somebody there to keep the drift fan down underneath that bridge.
Can you get in touch with him? There's a lot of drift against that.
Last call I put in, he was still in Florida as of last week.
Whose responsibility is that to remove it?
Well, and then.
We hope it's Mother Nature. We'd like to see it go downstream.
But whose is it?
Conservancies.
Sometimes you don't cooperate.
It's conservancies when it's on the bank.
But that's out in the water on that big pile up against that bridge. Whose responsibility is that?
Well, it's Mike's responsibility to maintain the drift around that barge.
In the new agreement, we spelled that out too,
Correct.
as far as off-season and,
Correct.
and you asked me for the meeting as far as that, the attorney and I have gotten together, and I think, we were waiting to have Mr. Rowland back in town. So, I mean, I'm ready to bring the proposal, you guys both told us to go and work on it and bring it back to you, and, we'll probably likely do that at the first meeting in April, so.
We'd like that. We'd like to see that in the packet before we, meet on it.
Who's gonna enforce that down there on the ramp? Like, who's gonna, like, tickets or who's gonna patrol? I don't know if they're gonna have time, because I've been bringing up the parking issue on the corner of High and Walnut for a year, and nothing's been done about that because they don't have enough officers, so I don't know how they're gonna have time for this.
Mike?
I'm sorry.
He said the police department's gonna patrol the ramp. I was wondering, because you said you're short on officers, you can't mark the 2-hour parking at the corner of High and Walnut that the business owner's been talking about for a year, so are you gonna have time for this?
Correct. We can swing up there. It's easy to swing up there and just go down and tell somebody to move. When you're going for 2-hour parking, you're taking an officer and making sure that he chalks the tires when somebody pulls into that 2-hour spot, and then he sits over there and he has to wait for 2 hours to make sure they move. And then when they do move and you bring somebody else in there, then the next thing he has to get back out, chalk those tires, wait for another 2 hours.
No, really,
So
I mean,
you're just basically 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, and the officer's sitting there watching nothing. You're taking him off the street.
he really doesn't have to sit there for 2 hours. Dude, go down the 2 blocks that are at issue, mark the tires, come back 2 hours later, and if they're there, they're there. If they're not, they're not. Once you
If that
do,
person's there a half hour and another
I
car
wasn't done
pulls in,
I wasn't done speaking though,
that car's not marked.
Mayor. I wasn't done
One at a
speaking.
time now. Go ahead.
Good.
He doesn't have to sit there. I mean, come down and mark the tires. If they're all there 2 hours later, then you tell them, or whatever the consequence is, or ticket them. And then once you get the word out, it'll be a turn. You don't have to come back. You sit there and wait for them. I mean, you mark them once, down the 2 blocks. Okay, come back 2 hours later. Whatever ones are marked, they must have been there for 2 hours.
I would be more than happy for you to come out and ride one day, and let's do that. And see how we do it.
I've been on plenty of ride-alongs with Cincinnati
I'd be more than
police,
happy
all
for you
kinds
to
of
come
different
out.
police, but that's what they do.
Happy
They
for
don't
you
sit
to
there
come
and watch the car.
Please.
I can give you my ride-along sheets. I've done that.
Come on out, please. That's all I'm listening. We're doing the best we can.
But I just find it funny that you can do that, but you can't do this that I've been asking for a year.
We're doing the best we can. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not gonna sit here and fight.
Move on. Police Department.
No report, Mayor.
EMS Director Bobby Mills.
Yeah, Mayor, we had our run totals for February. We had 147 calls. That's it.
Carl Fryman, Building Inspector.
Yes, sir, we need to probably discuss what's been brought up.
You pull your mic over.
I usually keep that away. Board of Works had asked us to get a pricing on some fencing at the plaza. Our prices are in. Just kind of waiting on direction from the, put it up, don't put it up. We've got a price for 6 months. Mario and I went down the other day and found a door that had been busted out. Again, unlocked. So I've got pictures of it. That was Monday, I believe, wasn't it?
Correct.
Just waiting on some direction. It's, I believe, $2,000 and some dollars
For 6 months.
for 6 months.
Does that just do the front, or?
We're gonna go just about to where you see the tape. So that'd be 3/4 of it. There's no entrances that we could see as far as that you could break into the back of it.
It's pretty well the overhang all the way around it.
What's the board want to do?
Are we gonna bill them, the owners?
We will press for recovery.
We gave them opportunity to do it themselves, didn't we?
Correct.
Yes.
They said they would do it like within a week, and that was like months ago.
They were gonna do it changed their mind, meet me on a Saturday. I waited on a Saturday for 2 hours. Nobody showed up. And
That was
here
the
we sat.
beginning of March, wasn't it?
Huh?
Was that the beginning of March?
Yeah.
What's the board want to do?
I thought we already voted on that once.
We did vote.
Go ahead and put that up
Place
for
it.
safety.
I thought you guys might want to know the price of it before you started with it.
Well, we're gonna put a lien on. I'd make a motion, we go ahead and get that fenced in before somebody gets hurt.
Good
Have a
enough.
motion, here a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Put fence up. Okay, new business, Kelly Will, marketing firm, bid packet opening.
I'm actually going to open those for Kelly. We received these in the office. I think we got a total of 5 bids here, and one of them I need to make note that did not arrive until after the deadline, which was at noon on March 6th, so it will be rejected. That leaves us with the rest here, and I will open those. Kelly, is it okay if I just kind of glance at these, try to find the pricing? The first one is from Brian Holland Advertising. Kelly, do you know if I'm going to just see one? I know that they're going to have individual because there's going to be salary based on the employees, but will there be any base pricing?
Total. You'll see a list of billable rates for personnel, media commissions if applicable, and then any proposal charges.
Okay, I'm glancing through these quickly just to save time here. They have a strategy, comprehensive strategic program plan. Summary with a fixed agreement. Startup fee, monthly fee. And a list of billable rates, which was, I believe, what you had said that you're looking for. Now, do you want me to read those, or, because they're gonna vary, I think, from company to company, and these will probably all need to be looked at and taken under advisement, I would assume.
I would say the prices you're gonna need to read.
Okay, this is just for the personnel assigned. It says all members of the All-Star team working on behalf of the city would be billed at $125 per hour. And monthly $1,200 pay per click costs billed to the city of Lawrenceburg. They will also receive 15% commission for strategy, negotiation, placement, and execution. A minimum of 3 public or private references for projects was also included. They actually included 5, so. The next one is from Razor, R-A-S-O-R, Marketing Communications. This is laid out a little bit more concise, and I'm sure this one has it, but I didn't see it. This one has a cost of $9,500 for the discovery. 15,000 for campaign development. $10,500 for media relations. 3,000 for measurements. 22,000 out-of-pocket costs. They have a list of references. There are more than 3. Billable rates. Hourly rates range from $40 to $200, depending on level of the person performing the work. Time is recorded in 15-minute increments. Crisis media relations, $200. Partner rate, $185. Counselor, $150. Senior account executive, $135. Account executive, $115. Account assistant, $95. Intern, $50. And administrative, $40. I'm assuming those are hourly. They've included their certificate of liability. They will also bill travel time. And again, that's all I can see quickly glancing. The next one is from Bein Kemper Creative.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Bein, B-E-I-N, K-E-M-P-E-R. They're actually out of Aurora. Billable hourly rates are as follows. Consulting, $75 an hour. Design, $75 an hour. Photography, $100 an hour. Videography, $100 to $200 an hour, depending on equipment. Post-production, $100 an hour. They've included a scope of work. Listed 3 references. That's all I'm seeing on this one. And there's one final one. It is. This is from Color, C-O-L-O-R, 9, N-I-N-E. Looks like they're out of Mason. Have an executive summary. Introduction of the team. I'm looking. They do have references. They operate with a blended hourly rate of $120 per hour. Should services from outside vendors be required, they will coordinate such activities. With client's approval, costs will be marked up by the standard 20%. And that appears to be it. I think there's several copies in here of the same exact information. So like I said, I think these are going to be taken under advisement. If we could possibly have a motion maybe on that.
I'd like Kelly to come to the podium and tell us what these people, what are you looking for out of them?
Well, I think I covered some of this in the last meeting, but some of this relates to media relations that can assist us in obtaining the media placement that we need. Not only that, but some of the graphic design, any types of brochures that we need designed, we're unable to do in-house anyway. That aspect, the printing of it, I think one of the proposals indicated included some of that design work that is essential for the marketing and collateral pieces that we need. And we may use just a small portion of this. One of the reasons I wanted to leave sufficient funds in this, the total budget for it was $60,000. However, I wanted to leave plenty of room in there in the event that there would be some media exposure that would assist us. Some other things that were considered in this were also the potential for any press releases and exposure that we needed, whether it be in the tri-state or in the Indianapolis market, to ensure the security of our gaming dollars in the event that we have to demonstrate how we're sharing our funds. That is a portion of it as well. But I could probably speak a little bit more educatedly on this after I review some of those. Then, although it's been preliminarily approved, speak a little bit more about what aspects of that we will use and how it may benefit us.
So you're going to come back before?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yes. I'll spend some time reviewing these and bring it before the board again to determine what aspects of these proposals that we may use. Certainly nothing that I could do in-house, but a lot of times with these marketing firms, they're able to do some media buys at a discounted rate and provide exposure, whether it be consideration. I know one of them had indicated that they were able to get some positive exposure through the Cincinnati Enquirer for one of their clients. They were on the front page, great cover story on economic development, and those are the kind of things that I think a company like this could do for us. Certainly, you know, a great deal of the work comes in-house, whether it be a press release or whatever, that if we're dealing with a difficult issue for whatever reason, they may be able to assist with that to some degree. But again, I will be coming back in front of this board with my recommendations. The apples at that time too, you know what I mean, because of the way that they split them up. Sure. I mean, the hourlies were the only thing that was really consistent besides, you know, the commissions and. Okay, yeah, I think I required the media commission if applicable, and then any proposal charges, as well as the list of billable rates, so that's what we'll be.
And there may be portions that I missed.
Okay. Anything else?
Are you working close with Hollywood on some of this?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm meeting with someone at least 2 or 3 times a week on a myriad of projects. So yes, they are involved. We just did a somewhat of a joint effort recently where the city had a editorial in Lead magazine. Hollywood Casino is following up with one in their next publication of Lead magazine, similar to what we did. So our editorial had both an economic development and tourism, opinion to it, so to speak. That's something that I can share copies
of that with this board or city council, whoever may be interested. I know some of you have seen that editorial already, but Hollywood is following up with that. So that's something that we're working on collaboratively as far as marketing promotion in the region, but we are working on a number of other projects. So, and just to speak for them, where they're at as far as sales on the event center, little off topic, but you know, they're pleased and seem to be meeting their goals with that, and pleased with the leads that I'm sending them as well. And if at any time while we're on that subject, that you need someone to come speak with that relationship from Hollywood, they've offered to do so.
Any more?
Any motion to?
Need a motion to accept these under advisement?
Make a motion, take it under advisement.
Second?
Approve? What'd you say?
Motion to approve the.
His,
taking under-
okay.
Take it under advisement.
I could approve this.
What's-
I didn't
what's
hear
your
it.
First, I got a second.
Okay, sorry.
All in
about that.
favor?
What's the motion?
Take them under advisement.
Take under
Okay.
advisement.
Okay.
I didn't hear it either, Aaron.
All in favor? Aye. All against? Ayes have it. Thank you.
Thanks, Suzanne.
Old business, Leslie Holt, Spillman agreement. Or Leslie Voltall, really.
What's in your packets is the whole purchase and license agreement. This is the Dearborn County Sheriff's Office, that, as I mentioned before, they have taken the lead on this. This is their agreement. What I did pass out to you before the meeting is a shared agency computer software and user license agreement for both Lawrenceburg Fire Department and Lawrenceburg Police Department. I had asked that these actually be put in your packet as well as the whole contract. So I am seeking approval of these tonight, in conjunction with, what's in front of City Council tonight, which is the interlocal, resolution and interlocal on the Spillman agreements.
Board have anything?
So we would just approve this based on the appropriation being approved by council?
Correct. And that actually, is going to be for the 30th. Jackie was not able to get it in for
Okay.
tonight, so. I guess it would be all contingent upon
Appropriation from.
if she can't find it anywhere else. I know she was looking for that.
She cannot. She said it'll have to be additional.
Okay.
Any more from board? Entertain a motion.
I'd so move with council appropriation.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it.
Yeah. Or go ahead and, you want to go ahead and
Just
sign
sign.
those two?
Thank Clark.
Thank you. This one too. Fire department.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, Mike Clark, quote openings on North State Street,
I actually have that. We
F
only,
and AD compliance improvement.
we only received one. I know Mike was looking for possibly 3. We just received one from Nippenberg, and it was on time. I have the E-Verify affidavit. I have the conflict of interest. And total amount is $29,497.
Anything board? Entertain a motion.
Let's finish that up down there, Mario.
It won't finish it up, but
Finish it, but how
No.
close?
it's probably 85%. Only thing we'd probably have Bill's up on the Front Street side and across there, small section between Walnut and Short. I'd so move pending review By Mr. Clark.
Here, second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, review and discuss claims board approval.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Does that include the over 500s?
Yes. It's got 500 and over 500 approval too.
What?
The over 500 approval claims.
The list, you guys should have it.
Yeah.
As presented.
Motion adjourned.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Utility board in 5 minutes.
Mario,
Yes, ma'am.
would you like this?
Yes.
Got more paperwork and dials back.
Thank you.
Shut up, they have no comment.
That's in the gazebo. That's
They
just like
had to work
plastic.
at it.
It's just like, it's plastic. But no, they picked
This last one for Nippenberg?
right there. All that's where that spot right there. They picked that all off. I didn't know if any of these are,
I'll find out. We didn't.
29,497.
These are old, these are from New Sharon administration. But look at that, how they picked it. It's a hard plastic. Because if they keep one, they would just pick it all off.
I'll see if they get one full and take pictures and get one replaced in aluminum.
Yeah, because it's, I put down there. Sunday. I was just down there Sunday and I went up in there because Melinda's gonna get married.
Mike Chuck wanted me to let you know that she's still working on those appraisals that you requested, country club, something else.
They just had to work at this. I
just hasn't handed out.
background, but hey, but you're saying the letter.
That is gone, that part of it is gone.
So far, so good.
She's still looking for country club and others.
They're just gonna be able to work it all.
I'll see if we can replace it with
Something. All right, I just wanted to show you that.
Glad you did.
How are you, buddy?
Come on, Ray. It's like we all it's like overtime or something, the thing said in there.
Change might be outside.
Right.
I don't know, I can't see her out there.
She did, she told me. She's really a nice girl.
Yes, it would. The only thing we have in our packet tonight is this is like a resolution of support, so.
Pass that down for
Like the first.
Aaron.
Nope, I just got it. That's for the revolving loan. I've invited them all to come on the 30th, but they decided they just wanted to write a letter instead, so.
Also, it's different from the one where they're inviting us out.
No, that's Woody.
Oh, it's the bank.
Yeah, Woody asked that be put in there, so.
Why am I going to French? They're putting things down there, French, down at
I said within a year, they should have it. Did you say 5?
Yep.
Has it been 5?
Close. I don't know, start with some.
Were they done signing?
Stops right there.
Yeah, where'd you go?
I've been running out.
Oh, that's all on the river there.
I've been running out.
Aaron, did you sign up?
It's right here. Well, she always likes to go first, that's why I don't care.
We don't really need her signature. We only need 3.
Well,
I mean, I'll take it if she's here.
we're ready to go, there you go.
He's kidding me. Public speaking.
You coming up? See that? Oh, we get started, we come back in.
He's like quite up with
Everybody ready?
his English.
There she is. She's
Oh,
coming.
there she comes.
In the restaurant.
Call utility board meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Member Jane Pope. Present. Member Aaron Cook.
Here.
Member Bill Bruner.
Here.
Member Mike Lawrence.
Here.
Member J.R. Holcroft is not here. City Attorney Leslie Votaw.
Here.
Utility Director Olin Clausen.
Present.
Mayor Dennis Carr.
Here.
And myself.
Any announcements?
Yes, actually, this board needs to nominate a member to the South Dearborn Regional Sewer District. Olin has more information on that.
So we have 3 positions, Mayor and Council. We have 3 positions on the South Dearborn Regional Sewer District Board. One of those is served by myself. The other is served as an appointee of the mayor, which is currently Andrew Lyons. And the third is a member of this utility board. So I would suggest that we select one of you to serve in that capacity. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be available for all of those meetings, because part of that servitude, you have the right to designate an alternate that can cast votes in your favor, attend the meetings in your stead, those sorts of things. But we really do need to have 3 people present, especially with some of the financial decisions that are coming on with the South Dearborn Regional Sewer District, some of the union negotiation contracts. We have a collective say in what happens there, so it's important that we're proactive about selecting somebody that's either willing to participate or has someone in mind to act in their stead.
When are the meetings?
I'd have to look at my planner. They're once a month, 10 o'clock in the day. Let me see.
I think one of the things too, that I understood is like, so the proxy that you, whatever the member, could have a proxy if you couldn't make it, or if there was a vote, and you couldn't make the meeting. I do believe that Olin can serve as that proxy and have the 2 votes. That's what I understand. But as far as just the actual member, it needs to be a member of this board.
And I'll get back to you on the dates of those. I'll get back to you on the
third Tuesday.
third Tuesday.
Garnet, didn't you serve on that board one time?
Have I?
Yeah.
15 years, I think.
One time you did, didn't?
So, they're 10 o'clock during the week. I can get you the times. They're either they're not on the Monday, they're on a Tuesday or a Thursday. But I'll verify that and let you know. And the meetings typically take, what do you say, Mario, about an hour, hour and a half? Sometimes. We try to keep them at an hour. We've had comment about that, to keep the meetings to a point where there's other people serving on those boards that have other jobs to do, so.
Thank you.
What's the board pleasure?
No, I wouldn't be able to make it because I'm working at 10 a.m.
You have a nomination?
Anybody else?
JR was retired from the
Yeah, he
sewer
retired,
plant he worked there for 30 years.
He withdrew from all the boards, though.
He did withdraw from all the boards?
So according to what I'm seeing on my calendar, they're the second Tuesday of the month. 10 o'clock.
Nobody wants to do it. I'll do it.
I'll make a motion for Mike Lawrence to be on the board.
That was quick. You have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, Mike? I'll take it out, time out of my day. Okay, that's done.
And I will point out, thank you, Mike, I appreciate that, but if we do need to set up a proxy regardless, because if there's times that you're out and there's votes that are important, that way we've got those three people there to cast those votes.
And you can get a hold of me, Mike, and all we have to do is just write a letter that designates a proxy, so.
Okay.
If it's okay, I've got some announcements.
Go ahead.
We had an issue up on 48 Meyer Hill Lift Station. This occurred some point with all the heavy rain, some point Friday evening. Myself and some of the electric department staff and the water sewer department staff were up there till early hours of the morning. Some of them stayed throughout the night, didn't finish until well into the next day. We're still in the process of trying to determine what the cause of that wet well failure, for lack of a better word, was. We did have some sewer back into some homes during that occurrence, and we are proactively working through that issue with those customers. We'll do that as quickly as we can, in a timely fashion, and communicate to those customers what the issue is and how we need to go about mitigating or dealing with the issue. We have begun the process, and I will have some more information for the board when we kind of narrow the scope on a new vac truck for the city. We're looking at a couple different options. We're looking at replacing the one that we have now with a similar sized unit, but we're looking at either leasing it or doing an outright purchase. A lot of things will come into play on the lease, like the residual, cash residual for the vehicle, the interest rates, what the service contract would look like on a lease. There are some competitive leases out there through the state-appropriate or state-approved websites. So we're taking all those things into consideration. Myself and Garrett and Andy attended a wet work show in Indianapolis where we were able to look at some of the new products that were out, the trucks that are out, kind of make a really an educated decision based on the truck that we have now of some of the amenities that maybe we don't need, how we can reduce our cost with a newer truck, and also look at some of the things that are available on the market now that maybe weren't at the time. So I'll bring that back to the board probably in the next 2 months with some cost of ownership data for you to look at so you can have a fair comparison. We're also working to find the best way to dispose of the truck that we currently have, and I think that we've found a way through an auctioneer site that deals with government property that will get us, we're speculating about 3 times the value of what we would just in a trade on, just trading it in. So we're trying to maximize that as well.
That is a public auction?
It is a public auction, yes. The 138 kV project that we've talked about several times, Mel Davis has brought that to the board. I've got a meeting this Thursday to talk with one of the vendors on that project I've also got a initial boilerplate document that will be coming from Keywright that will talk about the project, what the project's going to look like, bound some initial costs, so I'll have some more information for the board on that. And I would say I would have that in the next month. They should have had it to us sooner, but there was a couple things with the prevailing wage issue and stuff that we had to go back and they're going to redraft that document.
Oh, and what project was that? I'm sorry.
138 kV.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I have talked with 2 experts in the field about even billing. And so we are working through a time where they could come in and make a presentation to this board, possibly have a work session where they can come in and interact with this board and anybody in the public to talk about how that would look, where we would have the true up, just really provide a lot more color on the even billing for you all, and I believe that's a request that some of you on the board have had. So I've got 2 different experts in the industry that are preparing to come in and make a presentation on that. And I've got a time frame on that, looking to kind of have that wrapped up by June. We've got some rate things that we're trying to work through, so I'd like to have a couple months of firm data based on these new rates for them to look at, so they have, accurate information to present to this board. On a very positive note, our electric utility was nominated as the best in the entire nation for the Excellence in Safety Award. There's about 2,700 public utilities that were in that field, and it was the determination was made that we were the best in the field. That's something that we all should be very, very proud of. This is our public utility. These are our people. I know I'm extremely proud of them. They will receive that award on the 18th of May. We are going to do a photo shoot because this is going to go on APPA's website, and they're also going to put it in part of their Safety Awards film. So we're going to do a photo shoot with the guys, and we're going to issue a press release and try to really, let the people in the community know who we are, what it is we do, and that we do it extremely well. IMPA has nominated me to APPA's L&R committee. That should take place, confirming of that should take place at the annual meeting in Minneapolis, I'm sorry. That's the Legislative Resource Committee. On some not so happy news, my unit is 10.7. It's had some problems, so it's in the shop. I'm currently using my POV, so if any of you see me driving around in my Honda Pilot, that's why. So trying to figure out what to do about that.
The thing's about on its last leg, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been in and out of the shop a few times now. It's got some high mileage, but we're...
Well, along those lines, that's something the board can look at. Part of his contract included the vehicle, and now it's a defunct vehicle, so I don't know if the board would be, if you want to supply him a vehicle under the contract.
Well, and what I'm prepared to do along those lines is once I get a determination back from the shop, the same things we're doing with the truck, I can come forward with some documentation on what a lease would look like, what an outright purchase would look like, and let the board really have some say in how they would like to see that happen. But for right now, I'm content to drive my Honda until we can figure that out. On the electrical outages, we've had a couple, nothing really to speak of. Despite the cold weather, I know that our crews, really the most activity the crews have had has been helping Civil City with the snow removal, trying to serve the citizens in that way. But as far as electrical outages are concerned, or interruptions in service with water and sewer, we've really kept those to a minimum. So with that, I'll stand for any questions.
I'd just like to congratulate our utility employees.
Thank you.
Approved minutes of previous meeting.
So move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Committee reports. Anything left, Owen?
No.
Okay. New business, having none. Old business, having none. Review and discuss claims board approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion adjourned.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Member Jane Pope.
Present.
Member Aaron Cook.
Here.
Member Bill Brunner.
Here.
Member Mike Lawrence.
Here.
Member J.R. Holcraft is absent. Assistant Police Chief Mike Lanning.
Here.
Fire Chief Johnny Tremaine.
Here.
EMS Director Bobby Mills.
Here.
City Attorney Leslie Votaw.
Here.
Utility Director Olin Clausen.
Present.
Mayor Dennis Carr.
Here.
And myself.
Any announcements? Hearing none, approved minutes previous meeting.
So move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Committee reports. Streets, island curbs, Aaron Cook.
Nothing to report, Mayor, except for the parking issue at the corner of High and Walnut.
We'll look into that. See what you can do with that up there. Finance, J.R. Holcraft is not here. Fire Department, Bill Brunner.
No report.
Police Chief.
No report.
Fire Chief.
No report.
EMS Director.
No further report.
Building Department. New business. Sue Manford, walking in to Alzheimer's.
Hello, I'm Sue Manford, and I'm here representing the Alzheimer's Group of Southeast Indiana. And I'm asking to the use of the Dearborn Trail for our walking into Alzheimer's, which will take place September 13th, 2015, and also asking if you would waive the parking fees for the garage at that time too.
Anything on the board? Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll have to get some kind of stamp for the free parking though, because probably other people will be parking there that day as well.
What was that date also?
It's September 13th, and it would just be the morning of that day.
Yeah.
We would be done by noon.
Mauro, can you work something out of the parking garage?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's a Sunday.
Yeah, it's Sunday, shouldn't anybody there, but probably need to do something. Jane Pope, Susie Romines, Prevent Child Abuse Awareness Campaign.
Thank you for having me. I'm Susie Romines. I'm the event coordinator for Prevent Child Abuse of Dearborn and Ohio counties. I have some goodies that I'm going to let Michelle, and this is Michelle Smith, and she is from the Department of Child Services in Ohio County, and we're working on our pinwheels for prevention. You all probably have seen these around in April. April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month, and we do a traveling pinwheel display at high traffic areas to make sure that our community realizes how much that we want to protect our children. And if anybody is having any trouble, domestic abuse, rape, bullying, whatever they're going through, they know that we do have great resources here. And so the first place that we want to put it, I really tried to have our pinwheels in the park the week of Easter, because I feel like a lot of families are having guests in and relatives in. There's a lot of high traffic there at Newtown Park. So we're asking for your support in placing our pinwheels with the help of, I think it's St. Lawrence Service Club. We're going to place our pinwheels in Newtown Park on April 1st, if you approve this. And then we're going to have our community vigil, which they do it all around the state, on April the 7th. So Wednesday, April 1st, we'd like to have your support of putting the pinwheels in the park after school. And then on Tuesday, April the 7th, we're going to come back as a community, and I invite you all, and please spread the word around to join us at 7 p.m. Weather permitting. If for some reason there is a rain issue, then we'll be at the Lawrenceburg Community Center from 7 to 8 with guest speakers and information, and bring our community together to try and combat abuse and neglect. For your information, we did bring some numbers for you, and I was really surprised on this. In 2014, the total number of reports of child abuse and/or neglect during 2014 was 198,684 from the state of Indiana. Locally, the number
Can you repeat
of...
that number?
I'm sorry, want me to repeat that
number?
again?
Yeah.
The total number of reports handled during 2014 is 198,684. There is a note on here that I'm sure you would love to hear this too. The total number of reports include calls, faxes, emails, and mail-ins. Some calls received at the hotline turn into more than one report per call. Also, for 2014, on a local level, the total number of kids reported as abused or neglected in 2014 in Dearborn County was 1,229 kids. In Ohio County, 170. These numbers, I think, should really touch your heart, because many times, being the event coordinator for Prevent Child Abuse, I'm stopped at the grocery store, I'm stopped a lot of places that I go, and people will say, "Oh, Susie, it doesn't happen in our small towns because we only hear about it and see about it on the news from Cincinnati or other big cities." And I said, "It happens in your backyard. I can assure you that." And one of the things that I had talked to Mayor Carr about, and some of you all know, that our funding was cut. A lot of our funding will go to other places, bigger cities, but child abuse just doesn't pack up and go away because funding does. And we still try to do about 3 times as much work. We have great programs, and Michelle and the Department of Child Services, they're there for families. We have great foster care programs. But some things that we've tried to do is we've tried to bring programs that incorporate all families. We have free movies with moms. We have bowling with dads. I'm used to talking about bullying. Bowling with dads. We have games with grandparents, and try and bring generations together for events. Because if you can think about it, times with your grandparents, or time out with your dad, or just a day out with mom, sometimes those are the greatest memories and mean the most to kids. So we ask you to get behind Prevent Child Abuse. We meet the first Wednesday of the month from 12 to 1 at SIEOC in Aurora, and we sure could use your support, because we have enough money right now to last about a year. And you can't imagine what it's like for me to go into classrooms, do games with balloons and tennis balls, and talk about bullying, and 6 kids raise their hand and say, "Mrs. Romines, can I talk to you after class?" A lot of times it takes me to go make a call to Michelle, talk to the counselors at school, the principals, possibly make calls to the Indiana hotline to check it out and see what's going on. These are our kids that we're working with. Every kid deserves our respect and our attention. I don't know what you can give kids more than just a positive environment to grow up in. Some of you all know my story, and my story is, I came from a one-parent family. My mom left after 10 years of being abused. Nearly abused twice by a friend of the family. Got myself out of it. And my mom could have turned around and left and went back to New York, where all her family is from, but instead, people here became our family. You all looked out for us. I'm looking over at Mario because I still have to depend on him sometime. So I'm so proud to have raised my kids here, and I want this to be the place where other people come to this area and say, "Hey, you know what? This is where I want to set myself down. I feel good here." We're not going to take it all away. And believe me, I could work first and second shift and maybe have somebody on the third shift and not do as much as I want to do. So yes, we are looking for funding. I know we've talked about ways and different people to reach out to. If you know of ways to help us, believe me, we could really use the support to keep us in our schools. Because when you go into a classroom and the kids feel like, I can tell her something, I can raise my hand, I'm hiding that I'm being bullied, or somebody's touched me inappropriately, or I haven't had enough food to eat this week. Kids, when they know that you care, then, they come out of the woodwork to say, I need help. And I think it's just up to all of us to look out for each other, not just with our own family, but look farther than that. Look for signs of abuse or neglect. Pick up that phone and call the 1-800-800-5556 number. Come to our community event on the 7th and show your support. And come come to our meetings and just, like I said, we want to help build this community. We need your support. Hopefully, you need us. Maybe one day they'll give me a pink slip and say, Susie, we don't need you anymore, but I know that is not the reality. So that's what we're asking for. First and foremost is to have use of Newtown Park on April the 1st through the 7th, and on the 7th to have our community vigil from 7 to 8 p.m. Thank you very much. Michelle, anything?
Take a motion, board.
I'd like to make a motion to allow them to use Newtown Park April 1st through the 7th to keep their pinwheels up and to have their program.
Your second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? I'll donate $1,000 out of our promotional fund. It's a very good cause.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you all
It's a
so
little low,
much.
but I'll donate $1,000.
Oh, thank you. Thank you all very much. And I hope to see you on the 7th.
Thank you. Laura Rolfe, Big Brothers Big Sisters 2015 Bowl Kids Sake.
Perfect lead-in from what she was just here with Big Brothers Big Sisters, and I know you all got a copy of the form just about Dearborn County. Big Brothers Big Sisters is here to help children succeed in school and in life, and we have the very largest of our programs for our programs in the part out here, actually in the city of Lawrenceburg. We have school programs in Lawrenceburg schools from the primary all the way through the middle school, and in fact, Susie's a big sister with our program, and her daughter is a big sister in our school-based program. And Michelle was a big sister when she was in her 20s and still is involved with her little sister.
I'm in my 30s.
What?
I'm just in my 30s.
Yes, you're just in your 30s. In your 30s of being a big sister, almost. Almost 30 of being a big sister. She's had many big sisters. Because she knows what we do makes a difference. It's an evidence-based program for not preventing child abuse so much, but preventing drug and alcohol abuse and other risk-taking kinds of behavior. And we all know our community struggles with those issues. The things that we can end up doing to help those kids to be able to be successful in life and to avoid those kinds of things is very, very, very important. Our major fundraiser out here is our Bowl for Kids' Sake, which we're having April the 12th, and we would like for you all to consider again this year being a sponsor for that event, and potentially having a team or being a sponsor at any other kind of a level. We, in our agency, invest over $125,000 just in Lawrenceburg in our programs there because we serve that many children in the schools. In addition to the about 126 kids that we serve in the Lawrenceburg area, and we're talking Lawrenceburg, not just the whole of Dearborn County, we also have 68 high school students that serve, and we help those kids to build their developmental assets. Last 2 years, we've had high school students that have graduated that have actually gotten Lilly scholarships, and a part of what they've done is built their developmental assets, and they've provided services for us, but also have been very, very helpful there. So we would like for you to have your support, if we can, for that program. Again, for our Bowl for Kids' Sake, which is on April the 12th. We have multiple levels of sponsorships that you can do. If you can do a team again, that would be great, and the team is $500.
Anything, board?
Make a motion that we sponsor a team like
Great.
we've done in the past.
Thank you very much.
Council donations.
Our council donations are down really low, and we've got two main projects that we would like to support at the end of the year. And as much as I would love to sponsor that and give you the $500, we don't have it in the budget. I don't know if the mayor has it in his budget, or we can find it somewhere else, but if this
projects.
I can probably do 500, but I think the rest of it's earmarked, because I do Connie's Christmas thing, and mine's about going, but I'll do 500.
Okay.
We'll find 500.
Thank you very much, Mayor Carp.
Thank you.
Thank you. Again, we really feel like Lawrenceburg has been a very important area for us to serve because of the number of single-parent families and the numbers of kids that are there.
Keep
So
up the
thank
good
you.
work. Thank you.
Thank you.
We need a second. I got Bill.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Amy Payne, Pauls.
Yeah.
I was just curious what projects we got going on.
We got Eddie Canoe's Christmas toy drive that council donates. and we usually help pay for breakfast with Santa Claus. And at this time, we've only got left in city council funds $5,000.
Okay. Sorry, Amy Paul's Bike Ride Sponsorship.
Yes. Hi. My name's Emmy Payne. I'm the program coordinator at Paws of Dearborn County. And last year, we did our very first Rolling Paws bike run to benefit Paws. We didn't really know what we were doing, but we pulled it together, and it ended up being a pretty good success. We have a pretty good following going into our second year, and we would like to ask to see if the city would consider sponsoring our t-shirts and our banner this year. Last year we had 55 bikes participate in 102 participants. Some of the bikes had 2 riders. And we raised over $1,500 for the Humane Center. And just to kind of bring it all together for you, we take in 2,700 animals a year from Dearborn County residents only. And we don't take out-of-county animals, and we do not have breed restrictions, age restrictions. We've adopted every breed there is and up to 18 years old. So we do the best we can for every animal that comes into our care, and we depend greatly on the community for their support. And this is one of our newer fundraisers, and it seemed to have went really well. We did get 3 local printing companies to give bids on t-shirts and banners, and I had submitted all that. Does everybody have that? Mm-hmm. Okay, I had submitted that, and we anticipate a bigger group this year, and we was just like to see if the city would consider sponsoring it. I did do a little rough draft of what we could put on the shirt to show that the city had sponsored it, and that's not written in stone. Now, any of that can be tweaked, and that's what we would like to do.
That's one question. You guys raised $1,500 last year?
I'm sorry?
You guys raised $1,500?
We raised $1,500 after expenses.
Oh, we have some more information, though. Can I go ahead and share that now?
Sure.
Hi, everybody. I'm the co-founder of the ride, and I organized it last year. The primary portion of the funds that we're looking for is for the t-shirts and a banner. We had a banner last year and it sprouted legs. We have a bid in for a banner, and it's a reusable banner that we're buying, that we want to purchase from a local printer, and then we just peel off the second annual Paws Ride, put a 3 up there and change the date, and we're solid. So that's what, if you see on the budget, that's a portion of, that's what that is. In terms of our shirts, last year, and I want to run a few numbers by you. I don't want to get crazy with the numbers, but I want to kind of put it in perspective for you. Last year, we purchased shirts, and we gave $8 a piece for them from a local printer. This year, Amy and I have been working with a local printer, and we found a printer that had a surplus of shirts, and we got them really reasonable. We drove the printed shirt price down to $5.30 an item, and that's a 66% reduction in our cash outlay. So if I go back to the original shirts last year, we saw our net profit for each one was $7. We had $8 in them. We sold them for $15. Our net profit was $560 from t-shirts. It is the largest investment that we have. The rest of it is volunteer work. The rest of it is donations that we work from. And this year, we stand to almost triple that bottom line margin. We stand to sell. Our goal is 125 to 150 shirts. With your help, it'll be all profit, or at least if we can get a portion help from you, right, to separate that gap from being so expensive. So we've done our homework, we've knocked it down, and then we could ask some help for that.
And that's our biggest expenses. We want to get the advertisement out for it, bring positive publicity to Dearborn County. let everyone know where we are, way back at the end of Industrial Drive. When you think you've gone too far, keep going, and nobody can find us. We want to bring the attention to the shelter and what we are and what we're about, and that's just a positive on all accounts, just to bringing the people through this community. They're, patronizing our gas stations, our restaurants, our everything in this area, plus they're riding for a good cause, and they have been very, very generous. So far, as of last year, the riders have been very generous.
Carl, you have something?
Yes, if council would keep in mind probably the 200 deposits that I've made back there last year. These are the people that take care of it. I don't have money earmarked in my own budget, which I know, but there's for other things. Then there, I would be more than glad, as much as they take care of me back there, if the council give me permission to take it out, part of mine, I'll take it. I mean, it was 200 plus trips we made back there last year. Never once was returned away.
We just have a couple more things, so if we could get a few bits of your time. Number one, I would like to thank the police chief of Lawrenceburg. Your guys on the force were amazing. We mustered at the Dearborn County Fairgrounds last year, if you recall, and we went west on 50. You guys were amazing. I want you to know we appreciate your help.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. We'd like to maybe, I'll get up with you, or I think I worked with your sergeant. And if we could maybe get something like that again, I would deeply appreciate it.
Absolutely.
The second one is, at the end of the ride, we plan on having
Reception.
a party,
A reception
a band.
for the riders.
And I talked to, was it Brad, perhaps, at one of the buildings, at the city buildings?
Oh, Brad, the city building.
About borrowing the stage that you use for, and for the music on the river, perhaps. And if there's a form or something to fill out, I'm not asking you to approve that right now.
What's the date on this?
June 27th.
What's that? How big is, they put up a stage when they leave it permanently set over here.
Oh, okay.
There is other sections, if you don't need too big of a,
No, there's.
maybe 16 by
Oh, that would
20?
be, oh, good Lord, that would be
Good other section
plenty of
there.
room, yeah,
Just
yeah.
get with Brad.
Okay, thank you very much.
And then just one more thing, we would like to have a discussion very quickly, or you can maybe get back with us. We're ordering the banner, it's 4 by 10. And is there any place that we could put that up in Lawrenceburg to promote the ride?
Up the underpass.
Yeah,
Okay, the Lawrence, I didn't know that, I didn't want to step on anybody's toes, but I know that's where a
Does
lot
that
of them go.
change periodically, that banner? I know I've seen several different ones up there, but I didn't know.
Let's take it down, Lauren's banner.
Yeah, it's
Right.
probably- that date's.
And what date did you say you're,
The ride is June 27th.
We could probably move that and put yours up.
Okay, the one from Lauren Hill is from November the 2nd.
Yeah, it's been up for quite a while.
Yeah.
We just kind of left up her on.
Sure, right on.
Right.
And I don't want to step on any toes or create any ill feelings. So, is there a form we need to fill out for that?
Just get the board approved and do it.
Okay.
Got it.
One thing to try to save you some more money is I would recommend talking to your t-shirt printer, because I ordered 100 shirts last week. I bought the shirts and 2-color printing, and they were only $5 purchasing the shirts and the printing here in Lawrenceburg. So maybe if he's already got the shirts, you should probably be getting a better deal than that.
Okay.
I'm the same way. My shirts are cheaper, what you're gonna purchase your shirts.
That's buying the shirts, and I
And
got,
that's buying local.
Okay. I mean, we're open to, we're not locked into any one particular printer. We're open to anything. We got 3 bids from local printers, trying to keep it local. But, I mean, we are absolutely open to any suggestions.
yeah, I mean, if you guys can't get the price lower, I mean, I can give you the guy I dealt with, and it was $5 for the shirt and the printing,
Okay.
so.
I'd like to make a motion that if it's appropriate, make a $1,000 donation from Carl's budget, and I'd like to thank him very much for doing that. And thank you very much for going around collecting the 200 drop-offs you made. thank you for accepting the 200 drop-offs that he gave you.
And most of them have been adopted. Yes, the ones that you bring are so friendly, it's funny, but they've all been adopted.
Has some kind of spell on them or something.
Not all of them, but most of them.
I just want to verify with Carl that you do have that in your budget.
I've got, it might come from two different things, but I mean, I don't have anything listed as a gift or anything.
Right.
But as, supplies or books or something, I'll find it. And if I don't, I'll get as close to it, I guarantee it'll be awful close.
We appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
And also, with the mayor's permission, like he said, get with Brad, and Brad can help you with the stage.
Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for
Need
your
a
time.
second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to Resolution 5,
Appreciate you.
2015, support.
Can't touch these.
This is, number 5, 2015 is a resolution of support for the Regional Trails Alliance Trail Plan. Mr. Hughes brought this to my attention. He was contacted by Hamilton County, the director of the program there in Hamilton County, and he did give you a printout here of the possibilities, I guess the plan, is that correct?
Yes. What you have before you is a resolution just as a support for the Regional Trail Alliance. With us tonight is Margaret Mincer. She's with Greater Hamilton County Parks. She can come up to the podium and probably answer some of the questions more about the regional. And I handed out this map that's in front of you. And but this is a effort that's been going on for I think 3 to 5 years now, and identified some areas for some future trails and how to connect the trails. Where this would help Lawrenceburg is when we go to request a grant to help with our trail system. Being part of a larger trail system gives us some extra points. So I'll let Margaret give a little bit of insight to what you're looking at in this map. She's done a lot of work on this.
So this map is a compilation. There were a series of citizen engagement meetings last year. This was all funded with the help of Interact for Health, which was formerly known as the Cincinnati Health Foundation. Through this plan and through community input, and through trail advocates and planners, we were able to come up with ideas of how we might be able to connect our trails. And prior to developing a plan like this, everybody was working in isolation, and so the other people were not looking at opportunities to connect their segment of trail to the bigger picture. And so this is our first effort of getting everyone together and all the different communities. We're 9, the Regional Trails Alliance represents 9 communities in 3 states, so we are trying to look at those opportunities. And one of the things with federal funding or any other state funding or anything like that, they're looking at trying to connect trails, and it's a competitive process. And so when you're able to connect the trails to a larger trail system, this enables us to have a more competitive application. The resolution of support shows that your community is in support of this plan. It means nothing in terms of financial commitment or anything like that. It just says that in general, we feel like it would be a good idea to see our segment of the Dearborn Trail connected to the Ohio River Trail, going all the way up to, connecting all the way. Eventually, the plan would be that this would connect all the way up to Erie, Lake Erie, because it's right now, there's about 78 miles of the Little Miami Scenic Trail
that is getting ready to connect to downtown Cincinnati, and then the Ohio River West Trail is starting to get into that place where it would connect to, and I mean, this is over years and years and years of work, but I mean, we need to look at this big picture as something that we can be doing. And so seeing that there's communities that have signed resolutions of support and say that we as a community support this effort helps us as we're trying to make our case and trying to get more people involved and engaged in this process. Are there any other questions?
Anybody have anything?
No, well, yes, I do. I think it's a great idea. The trail system we've got between Lawrenceburg and Aurora, and then the one going on down through the Greendale levee, it's used a lot, and a lot of people do appreciate it.
Well, this is an amazing amenity. I'm glad that you feel that way. And I mean, having this amenity for community, this is big. There's a lot of research that shows that it's good for economic development. It's good for jobs. It makes us a more attractive community to have these amenities available. So this is Lawrenceburg Trail, the Dearborn Trail is one. I mean, it's great that we have this available in our community, and not many. If you look at the trail plan and the existing trails that are here, you'll see that there aren't a lot of communities that have this amenity available.
I think if we got some grants and some funding, we could eventually get hooked up with Greendale, and then eventually Greendale could get to the state line. And then Jack Sutton, who lives out here, who's the director of Hammond County Parks, has said that with little effort, they could probably connect us, and you would be connected to North Bend and Miami Fort in that area. So that could happen in the very near future. An interesting thing being involved with this is there's actually a bike trail from Philadelphia to Washington, D.C. that started kind of like this. So it's growing with popularity across the country.
I think it's a wonderful idea to get a trail to Miami Ford, because when we were kids, we used to walk the railroad tracks to Miami Ford.
I heard some of them jumped the train.
It wasn't just walking the train.
And it was scary crossing that bridge.
I'll go ahead and proceed with the resolution if everyone's all right.
Everybody all right with this?
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much.
Resolution of the Common Council's support for the Regional Trails Alliance Trail Plan, whereas the City of Lawrenceburg City is committed to maintaining and enhancing quality of life for citizens throughout the region, and recognizes that the Regional Trails Alliance Plan, hereafter plan, will contribute to the quality of life by weaving together communities and regional assets via a network of trails and greenways. And whereas the plan recommends linking trails and greenways together, gaining cooperation to encourage regional collaboration, and to create a network that will provide transportation, exercise, leisure, safety, accessibility, recreation, and community benefits aimed at enhancing the quality of life. And whereas many communities, agencies, and trail advocates in the region have taken a lead in planning and or building local trails and greenways, and those efforts can be greatly enhanced by being connected to a larger regional network of trails. And whereas trails and their green buffer areas will help improve the quality of the air we breathe by preserving trees and vegetation, by promoting reduced congestion through non-motorized transportation, and will enhance the quality of our water through natural buffers and mitigation of storm water runoff. And whereas trails and greenways are freely accessible community assets, offering opportunities for transportation, recreation, and exercise for everyone, including children, families, organizations, and schools, and provide safe places for people to experience a sense of community and create stronger social and family ties. And whereas trails have significant impact on the health and economic viability of the region through encouraging active lifestyles, increased levels of tourism, enhanced property values, added jobs related to the construction of and along the trail, as well as enhanced ability to attract and retain businesses to the region due to improved quality of life. And whereas the plan provides foundation for a long-term strategy that will continue to grow and to provide invaluable resources for generations to come and will only increase in the future. Now therefore be it resolved by the Lawrenceburg Common Council, the City of Lawrenceburg is committed to the promotion and continued development of the Regional Trans Alliance Trail Plan, and in concept to working with neighboring communities to plan, design, build, and maintain a system of trails that will connect our communities, people, and special regional points of interest for years to come. Passed by the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg, Dearborn County, Indiana, the 17th day of March, 2015.
Anything on the board? Entertain a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it.
Does she want me to sign that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Mike Lawrence, concrete issue.
I was contacted by a citizen of Lawrenceburg from 123 Bilby Road, Jason Mingus, about his concrete driveway that was done. And I went up and looked at it, and it definitely does not look good. And matter of fact, I'm having to sweep some up, and I got 6 of these. And I walked over, he said he's talked to Mike and Mario several times. He feels he's getting a runaround. I walked over and looked at his neighbor's driveway. I mean, it looks perfect, but this driveway, I just took my foot and raked it and just skim the top off in areas. I just want to bring it up. And he said, he thinks he's paid $4,000 or $5,000 towards it so far. He said he wants to pay all of it, but not until his driveway's fixed. He wants it fixed. And he said he'd rather have it dug out and gravel put back. Because he said, look at what it looks like today. Imagine what it's going to look like 5 years from now.
Is that MENGES, Mike?
I have MINGES.
Okay, MINGES. Thanks.
123.
Are you aware of anything up there?
I'd have to grab the file, I don't know which one 123 is.
If you turn on, you got to turn on Heiner Heights, and you go straight into his driveway.
Oh, okay.
123
Yeah.
what?
123 higher.
It was poured probably 3 years ago now.
3 years ago?
He guessed about 2.
Yeah, I think about 3 years.
The whole driveway looks like that?
Well, no, I mean, it's going to, but up towards the house, it's real bad. Now, the sidewalks and stuff, they're okay.
We had the testing firm, the contractor, and I believe the concrete company out to look at that site. And I think they said it was salt off his vehicles. Where he scratched it up at is right where he parks his vehicles at.
Which what I don't understand, I mean, the driveway at my house, I mean, from salt, from dripping off the vehicle, sure, it's got pits, but it's from 97. And then I had a new section poured on my own like about 5 years ago, and I'm parked there all the time, and sure, I got a place here or there, but I mean, this thing is the whole time. I got a lot of pictures. I mean, it looks horrible.
But it's not the whole driveway, though.
No, it's just up by where they're parking is what it is. It's a little bit down by the road, but not too bad. But I walked over to the neighbors because they had 2 cars parked in the driveway, so I figured that's how they park all the time. It's perfect. And, I mean, I'm not a concrete guy, but I didn't know if possibly, the one was wet too much because there's a pretty good color difference between the two, and I would assume that since they're side by side, they was poured close to the same time.
This is a pretty good area, the same driveway.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a good size.
Probably 3 different pours in that particular driveway. So I don't think it was poured the same time the neighbors were.
Well, I'm just saying, about the same time frame.
Oh, yeah, within probably the same week.
Yeah.
But again, all we can depend on, again, is the concrete supplier. The contractor, of course, he's gonna say that he installed it, poured it, and finished it correctly. We've got testing. I mean, we can go up there if the board would like and pop some cores out of it, and if it's a failure of the mix itself, those cores would show that.
Yeah.
Now, we do a random test on the concrete itself. I can check to see if that particular driveway has a test, but just thinking back on it, I'd say we'd already brought that to light if it did have a test performed on it.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the man says, he wants to finish paying for it, but he says he's not going to pay for it the way it is.
And I can understand his grief. But then again, staff-wise, we're just put in a position of, what information we can dig up on it. I mean, if the board would like, we can have, like I say, a core made and tested on it.
What's the board's pleasure?
I would like for him to be contacted, and, which he said that both of you's been up there and looked, I don't know. You know, that's what he
Yeah, I think we've
said.
been up there a few times. Again, we had a meeting on site with him one morning with, again, the team we assembled to go up to do the testing / evaluation of it.
And I mean, I don't know if this board, everybody wants to go up and look at it, or what, but, I mean, I understand the man's feelings, and I know I wouldn't be happy if my driveway was.
I mean, very nice gentleman.
Yeah.
I think.
What was the address, Mike?
123.
Keener Heights.
Yeah, well, no, it's actually Bilby, but you have to turn on Heiner Heights to go into the driveway.
Driveway's off Heener, but the house faces on Bilby Road.
If they core test this, they'd be able to, what's wrong with concrete?
They can layer it in,
123.
you know, they can almost tell you how much sealer it has on it.
Right. What's the board want to do?
Hey, go up, meet with him, check it out.
I'd ask him if you core that, then you get down and see what's wrong with it. See if the concrete is bad. They'll tell you if the concrete's bad or whatever.
I mean, that's, at this point, that's about all you can do. If we didn't perform a independent concrete test on placement day, coring's about the only option at this point.
You have an idea of the cost on that?
Top of my head, no. I mean, I can find that cost and come back to the next meeting and give you the pricing on it.
I mean, since the city got involved in the concrete, I think the city's gonna owe them an answer, you know?
I can tell you, he's not on any one of our lists as far as, you know, us sending letters or anything like that yet. that's why I asked for the.
And I
spelling.
can also tell you that his dad is the only one that signed. It's in the dad and mom's name. The dad has passed.
Passed away.
It's up to the board, but I'd
So
recommend
could
you
that
core that.
is that contract void now that the man's deceased?
We'll have to look at it. I mean, I'm not sure. If I'd known the address, I could have brought it with me. But
I know my understanding is that he does want it fixed, and he wants a nice driveway, and he does want to finish paying for it. But
it may be that.
it would have to be at the city's expense. And another option is, you know,
It's like in the middle of the section too. It's not as if it's a corner or an edge, you know, it's.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of, yeah.
the contract may be
Definitely the middle.
void.
Yeah, but if he still wants to pay, I mean.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but the
Move
city
forward
would
with
have
it.
to go to the
Yeah,
expense
and
to
I'll
fix
have to
it.
look. I mean, because we've gone through a lot of them that either statute of limitations or, you know, there was no way for us to try to collect on it. And I can check that name and make sure.
And we,
It's
again,
Jason, right?
Contractor's
Yes.
saying it's
What was
out
the
of
father's
warranty,
name? Do you know?
Is why they're not.
I do not.
stepping up.
Do you know what her dad's name was that passed?
We've got it in the file.
Okay, I mean, let me know. We'll double check that.
But again, the contractor is saying that it was out of warranty, and I don't think by that long of period when we received the call.
Chip like that, something's caused a chip. Concrete just don't chip like that in 2 years. That's it's bad concrete, it's got cream came to the top or something.
I mean, do you have a guesstimation of what you think that would cost to test it?
I could go back to my office, give me a couple minutes to pull the sheet on it.
Okay, could we come back to this, Mayor?
Yeah, we'll come back to it.
All right, thanks.
Rick Holding couldn't make it tonight. I think he's gonna come, next meeting?
Yeah, he had called Kelly Will and asked him to table it.
Motion table is to next.
Motion to table.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Jackie, additional appropriation.
That was the one that needs, yeah, that she plans to do that on the 30th at
Okay.
5:30.
That'll be on the 30th. Lastly, resolution number 6, 2015, interlocal for Spillman.
As I talked to you guys about it, I gave you a copy of the interlocal last meeting. I believe Greendale has signed, Dearborn County has signed, and we are, well, I haven't been in contact with Aurora, but they were planning to do that at their first meeting as well. It is just for the sharing of the cost of the Spillman services. As I told you, Dearborn County took the lead and they'll pay all of it and we'll reimburse them within 30 days. which would be from March 20th. I believe that's when the, when it's due, Mike, is that right? March 20th?
Can I say something? But if this is passed tonight, it takes an additional appropriation to pay for it, $279,000, correct?
That's correct.
Because I'd asked at the last meeting about finding it within the budget, and I assume she couldn't.
No, she left me a note to
Yeah.
say that she could not.
Not even within the police department's budget?
I don't know where she looked. I don't know if she talked to you.
I sat down with her on the 911, that's the one we had talked about, and we looked everywhere we could, and every line item we have right now is basically set for any type of maintenance, anything of that nature that we have that line item set for.
So there's no money for the 911 either?
We did not, no.
I thought the way I understood it, the 911 was okay. That the 60,000,
I believe at the last meeting, Mike asked me to try and find half of the 60 within our budget. And that next day, I went down and sat down with Jackie, and we went through everything. And it's just, with the budget cuts this year, there's just nothing there for us to be able to pull 30,000 from our budget to be able to pay for that.
but the way I understand it, we don't need an additional appropriation for 911. Correct, Suzanne?
No, Jackie has a note here. It says could not find money for Spillman or 911 in budget. Right now must be additional appropriation. Leslie? I don't know if she wants us or is that mine?
Well, and I had intended that the additional appropriation be, I thought it was just not, she didn't have the time, by the time she remembered to basically do it, is what Jackie told me, but she did go ahead and have that set for the 30th. I mean, part of this is if the city of Lawrenceburg does not go forward with this, nobody goes forward with it. We're not locked into this contract. We only preserve the price of the contract, and for 2014 rates, when we signed last time.
But we can do the 911, but not the other, correct?
Yeah, and that's totally different. This number 6, 2015 is just for Spillman.
Now, if the county's gonna pay it on the 20th, that's only in what, 3 days?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way.
But obviously, if this doesn't go through tonight, passing that's why we had the resolution interlocal tonight, because the interlocal is what, says that we'll reimburse our part for it.
But what if the additional appropriation didn't pass? Then we would be signing this and there's no money to pay them.
That's true. That's true. But the thing is, I would hope if you pass this resolution, you would also pass the appropriation.
I say we all agreed to do it, but I guess it's a different
Board of
time
Works
now.
agreed on that one.
No,
No, this is us.
I said only if the money could be found within the budget.
But we had meetings and everyone agreed to do it.
Back in November, I believe.
I agreed with the 911, I'll admit to that, but I don't,
I agree with the 911.
and I was the one that said, Jackie, find that money in the budget, me and Mike both. This is an awful lot of money for the Spillman.
I'll proceed with the resolution. They can take their vote. So I'll proceed with the resolution, and they can take their vote.
Okay.
But again, I'm not, I'm for it, but I mean, I don't see how we're gonna do this with the money not there.
Yeah, I mean, we do have 30 days to pay it. That was the reason why I went ahead and put this on the agenda tonight, because there was still 30 days for us to be able to reimburse the county for that. I mean, you could make your passage of the resolution contingent upon the appropriation. No?
I wouldn't do it. I think the census is not gonna pass.
If we don't pass it tonight, then I don't know that it will go through. It won't. I don't think it will. I think we had till March 20th
March
to.
20th was the deadline, and then from there, the price increases to the 2015 price rate.
Is there any other way to do it? Because, I mean, it's only
Not
three.
that I know of. Like I said, I thought that the appropriation ordinance was going to be on the agenda tonight.
You want to read it?
Mike, there's no way to postpone it for like 2 weeks or anything like that?
We've postponed it, it's probably been 2 months now that we've been trying to get everybody together. I mean,
As far as postponing it, we do have a meeting on the 30th. I mean, it is the revolving loan fund committee. There is going to be I intended to have an executive session at 5, and then 5:30 was supposed to be for this additional appropriation. We could, and it's going to be a special meeting of council. We could definitely take it up on the 30th.
I mean, I can get hold of Andy and see if that's feasible. I mean, I think, like I said, I mean, they put that date of the 20th, and that's what we signed when we signed the first original interlocal, that we would have a decision by the 20th. But I can call him and
But I
find
can see
out.
why the county wouldn't want to go ahead and fork the money out for our portion if we're, if there's a question on
Yeah,
whether or not we're going to appropriate it.
I'm sure that's, that's gonna be, of course, up to the sheriff and to that council there, so, I mean, but I wouldn't see why they wouldn't.
Like I said, I'm for it, but there's no interlocal here or anything to go with it, and there's no appropriation, to go with it. I mean,
How about instead of additional appropriation, if I make a motion to take it out of the 10 county grant program?
I'll second it.
how much money's left in there? I don't know how much money's in there.
$2,433,911.03.
I thought it went down to 2 million when we gave the million to the schools.
Is this current?
This
It was
is a
3
current
million.
appropriation report. This is a current appropriation report.
We had
Unless
3
that's-
million in the budget, and then the deal was to transfer $1 million to the schools, so there's only 2 million.
Now, transfers will not show up if it was done in the month of.
So there's $1,443,000 left then?
So there's a million
1.43,
something,
yeah.
so there's enough, the 200 and some thousand.
Well, the money was set back for advanced manufacturing with Ivy Tech to 10 county. That's what we was gonna do with it. So I'd probably kill that, and we've talked to them about doing it. That's for training for vets and, kids in high school, which would help quite a bit, but
After that's taken out, how much is left?
I think it's what,
That's, would be 2.7.
2.7.
There's not enough
Not
money for that?
enough in there.
I thought wait a minute, I thought the budget was at 3.5, we took a mill out of it
It was 3.
at 3, so it was 3. And then I don't know what our carryover, or our non-reverting is on that. I know Umball's working through that.
Well, that's not a non-reverting.
So
But
that
from
would
last year?
help. That
That's not
carryover
a-
would
a
probably be
non-reverting
enough to
line.
cover it, Mayor.
Yeah, but I don't know, again, don't quote me, 'cause we don't know
I'd like
what
to
it
keep
is
enough for
because.
advanced manufacturing, that's gonna help a lot of kids.
I agree
Yeah,
with
I
you,
agree
but I'm
with you.
saying that carryover should probably cover it.
Well, and if not, then you guys could do an additional
Do-
appropriation at that
appropriate.
point.
If we do that,
Maybe
because
that's what I'm working
that's still
on.
short these kids out, and the vets. That's,
Thanks for having
What
it.
was the expense for the Ivy Tech?
2.7.
And what are we sitting on right now? 2 million?
it should be a carryover.
$1,443,000. The non-reverting that we just looked at's a negative million. Is that right, negative million?
That's what it says.
Yep.
No, it's 100,000.
Oh, negative 100,000, sorry. I'm looking from a distance.
But
That's
that,
what Umball's working on
In November.
That's what Umball's working on.
in
because
our
what-
10 county.
County hadn't taken, we
What
would
what
have already
happened was
done
they
this.
pulled money away from there
Hadn't taken
from
the lead.
2 years back, so.
so do you have some kind of a dollar figure in your head that you think we
until Umball gets done, when they did, we set up the non-reverting. If you look at the non-reverting, what it carries over, there should be money there. But the issue, when I went to confirm it with Umball, there's some older projects that are being applied against that dollar amount.
It needs to still be paid out.
And we've got everything paid out except for one, but everything else has been paid out. So we're caught up on that side. But Umball should have something to report back by the first meeting in April.
I would be willing to go ahead and take it from the 10-county grant money, Mayor, and then if we do need to reappropriate money for the Ivy Tech project, I would.
Is everybody else in agreement on that?
I'm not.
Huh?
I'm not.
You're not?
You just
But
want
I'm
to make
only
sure.
one vote.
Aaron, would you agree to that?
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Bill?
Yeah, because we agreed to do it
There's
back
3
in
votes
November.
there. 'Cause I want to save enough for them, because
Yeah, I
this is
do
going to
too.
help the veterans and everybody else. There's another thing like that around here. Grant, you? I don't have any problem.
I can't understand why they can't find this money in this budget. There has to be money somewhere. There's always slush funds.
Jane, you cut a budget 6%, you cut a lot out of it, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
We're
Cut a bunch out of it.
3%.
we cut the budget, I mean, to our income. We balanced it, and
That's
there's
wrong.
just not a lot floating around in there.
But each time you do additional appropriation, it's not balanced.
Well, that's true. So, but at the same time, we're sitting in March, we're only 25% through our year, so you don't know where some of those other categories are gonna be. I imagine our salt costs have gone up, so we got, but, and as far as the Ivy Tech thing, that whole thing is structured so different than any past Ivy Tech projects. It's a true partnership. They're putting up half those funds. Their foundation has already made the commitment for half those funds. We've got all those letters in, and we've even got some support for them to concur to running it for 10 years. So that's overhead costs that they're committing to too. So I think we turned the tide on that.
But can we look at Ivy Tech? We need to look at not just Ivy Tech, all these places. What's their revenue? How much money they have in the bank? What other projects are they doing throughout the state that they're paying for that they're not getting contributions, compared to what Lawrenceburg's doing? I mean, we've built them 2 schools.
We built them a new school.
Lawrenceburg has built them 2 schools.
I don't think it was 100% of the cost. There was some stuff, the majority
Majority of the cost,
it.
how's that?
But, you and I have had this discussion, and that's why the way we structured this, it's a true partnership, and they've actually are pulling that money out of their foundation to do this project, which should be to you all the 1st of April. So, we can look at what their schedule and timing is, and whatever you all decide to do.
Mayor, could the police department apply for a community foundation grant, the phase 2 one up to $100,000?
Sure, okay.
And then we could kick that back in. That should have been what was done to begin with.
That's gonna take
a
month.
It'll take at least a month or 2, but if we can get that $100,000 back through the community foundation, which I think they've been helping other police departments throughout the county and the state on different equipment and things. I think if you apply for that phase 2 $100,000 grant, that'll take care of 100,000 of it.
I don't have any, as long as we got enough money to take care of advanced manufacturing, I don't mind it coming out of the 10-county thing. But we're gonna close that out anyway. But, I just want to keep enough for that, because this is a very good thing for the community.
And then $100,000 will be kicked back in to the 10-county grant. So we possibly would only be pulling, what was the total amount? 200 and what?
79.
$179,000, and hopefully what Mike and Suzanne's looking at down there, Dan's gonna come up with surely there's some carryover from last year.
Okay. Well, we got a meeting when?
The 30th.
They're supposed to
Oh.
get back to me next week, so
Okay.
we're
We'll
trying
bring
to
it up
set
that board.
we're trying to set it up for the first meeting in
Okay.
Resolution number 6, 2015, a resolution regarding the entering of interlocal agreement with Dearborn County, the city of Greendale, and the city of Aurora, Indiana. Whereas Indiana Code Section 36171 authorizes the state of Indiana political subdivisions and state agencies to enter into interlocal cooperation agreements for the joint exercise of powers by resolution or ordinance of a participating governmental entity. And whereas the city of Lawrenceburg, the city of Aurora, the city of Greendale, and Dearborn County, Indiana, the parties propose to enter into a contract with Spillman Technologies, Inc., Spillman, to provide the parties with public safety computer software that will allow for the integration and sharing of information between law enforcement officers of all the parties. And whereas the city of Lawrenceburg, Indiana wishes to enter into an interlocal agreement with Dearborn County, along with the city of Aurora and city of Greendale, for the sharing of costs of the services from Spillman, as said cooperation between the aforesaid political subdivisions will be a benefit to all the citizens of Dearborn County. Now therefore be it resolved that the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg, Dearborn County, Indiana, as follows. 1, the City of Lawrenceburg does hereby authorize and approve the entry by the City of Lawrenceburg, Indiana, into the interlocal agreement presented herewith, constituting an interlocal cooperation agreement by and among the participants that are parties thereto, namely Dearborn County, Indiana, the City of Aurora, and the City of Greendale, Indiana. This resolution shall become effective upon passage and upon compliance with the procedures required by law, passed by the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg, Dearborn County, Indiana, on this 17th day of March, 2015.
Entertain a motion?
We got it based on appropriation or anything, or funding, Leslie, to add to that? You know, I mean, I don't know how we can approve it without the funding. What word should we add at the end of it?
I could just put subject to appropriation.
Okay.
Under number 1,
Okay.
Entertain a motion.
with that addition.
So moved. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Call, please.
Member Jane Pope,
Yes.
Member Aaron Cook,
Yes.
Member William Bruner,
Yes.
Member Mike Lawrence.
No.
Ayes have it.
Okay, just want to sign
Unless you get a
here.
It's still subject to appropriations, so
You can't leave the county hung out to dry once you agreed to it.
I guess the motion also needs to be made, though, Jane, if you're going to make it from, or Mike, however you, that it be taken from the 10 county grant.
could you add that 10 county grant and the police department apply for a phase 2 grant, $100,000 grant?
You phase that tomorrow, can't you?
Yeah, I can apply for it tomorrow.
For $100,000?
Just tell me where I need to go.
Dearborn County
The
Foundation.
foundation?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I can go down and get the paperwork and get it started tomorrow.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Member Jane Pope,
Yes.
Member Aaron Cook,
Yes.
Member Bill Bruner,
Yes.
Member Mike Lawrence.
No.
Ayes have it.
Just sign too. I'm not going to do something. For you.
You want to sign it? Okay, Leslie, you got deed from the city to redevelopment, 18 Bilby Road.
This is something that the redevelopment commission requested. There's a copy of it in your file. I did bring the printout from Beacon on that, just so it's the property basically located across from Old Orchlands, which I guess is the gas company now. Is that right? On
48 east side, it's that property that you brought up.
There's
Along
Old
Tennessee
Orchard.
High.
Yeah. Before the bend in the road that goes up the old 48. Yeah. I did find that, and it was a from a Lawrenceburg Conservancy District transfer. There was a whole bunch of parcels in one quitclaim deed, and that was one of them, so. Just need approval for the mayor to do so that the redevelopment can do what they need to do with it.
Can a motion?
So move.
Second? Have a second?
Yeah,
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Thank you. Next, we have a amendment to 2015. This is the utility ordinance. There was a, I guess, Lauren, can you explain what this amendment is about, please? I guess it was back in 2010, or 11, there was an ordinance passed that we didn't have any more 5-inch meters, and they were all 6-inch meters.
Yeah, but this, as it was presented, we're talking about the 5 inches was presented to council on the sewer meter?
Yes.
Okay, what we need on this, when we had our rate increase, and we had it come before council, we had what would be considered a scribbler's error. We called out a 5-inch on a 6-inch sewer service. We don't have a 5-inch, have never had a 5-inch. And so all we're looking for now is a motion for the council, by the council, to amend the correction from 5-inch to 6-inch. None of the rates will change, nothing like that. Again, like I said, this is just a standard thing. It happens quite a bit, referred to as a scribbler's error.
So I'll go ahead and read it. It was amendment to ordinance number 2015. Whereas the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg has authority pursuant to its statutory and home rule powers to amend this ordinance, and whereas there was a scrivener's error in the ordinance passed on March 2nd, 2015, in one size that the minimum metered monthly charges for use of rural and non-rural customers in Lawrenceburg Code of Ordinances Title 5, Section 52.101. Now therefore be it ordained by the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg that an amendment be made to ordinance number 2015, amending the Lawrenceburg Code of Ordinances, Title 5, Section 52.101 as follows. Under water usage schedule sewage, metered water users, the sewage rates and charges shall be based on the quantity of water used or on or in the property or premises subject to such rates and charges as the same as measured by the water meter there in use plus the base charge except as here and otherwise provided. For the purpose of billing and collecting the charges for sewage service, the water meter shall be read monthly or a period equaling a month. The water usage schedule on which the amount of rates and charges shall be determined as follows. The only change we have is under meter size, under minimum meter monthly charges for use. See where it went from 5 to the 6-inch meter, which is for the year 2015 is $299.52. As far as under that same section for the rural charges, again, nothing changed except for the sewage rates and charges shall be based on the quantity of water used or on or in the property or premises subject to such rates and charges as the same as measured by the water meter there and used plus the base charge except as here and otherwise provided. For the purpose of billing and collecting the charges for sewer service, the water meter shall be read monthly or a period equaling a month. The water usage schedule on which the amount of rates and charges shall be determined as follows, and that's the minimum monthly charges for use that are rural. It changed from 5 to 6 and it still is the 2015 rates, $389.38. Ordained and passed on the 17th day of March 2015 at 8 o'clock in accordance with the applicable law by the Council of the City of Lawrenceburg, Dearborn County, Indiana.
Entertain a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Sign there. Thank you.
Got resolution number 7, hello from 9/11 Communications.
And then pass that on down to her, please.
I'll go back to your thing, let's go back to that then, Mike.
Oh,
Mario, you got,
Yeah, pricing, it's gonna be probably from $1,500 to $2,000. What I'd like to do, if we're even considering that, is get a proposal from the technician, have him come on site, possibly Mike go with me and, talk to the homeowner, make sure he's gonna allow that to happen, and have them submit a price to us, and bring it back to the next meeting.
How involved are we talking? I mean, what kind of equipment does he have to get onto his property?
Well, it'd just be a core machine, handheld core machine, it's not very big.
Okay.
The labs, actually, with the price, kind of really gets hardball. They'll actually send that core in and have what they call a petrograph done, where they just start slicing it up and measure kind of each layer. That's the real price point.
Okay.
The labs.
I just mean, I hope there wasn't a huge machine where you might want to get a right of entry or something onto the property.
No.
Okay.
Just a handheld core machine. But I'd like to have, again, the testing firm come down and confirm one bore or two bores. A lot of times I want a backup to make sure they're being consistent.
Could you maybe get maybe a look at the area and see how big it is? I mean, $2,000. I don't know how much concrete's running a yard.
It's a big area.
but-
Where Mike's talking, matter of fact, if I can bring the photos up, it's, again, he parks his cars just about the middle of the.
It's the whole top section?
And it's the middle section.
The middle section?
Yeah.
Like two squares, or?
Let's see if I can bring a photo up. I want to say it's probably two vehicles wide, Mike, when you say 30 foot.
Yeah. Do you have these?
Would $2,100 go ahead and pay for repairs instead of us boring it?
No, because again, you got demolition pricing there too.
2 10 by 10 sections is gonna be $1,500. We take it out and replace.
Again, I would ask to be able to bring the technician or the testing firm down and get pricing, have them propose a price.
That's actually an extra copy if you want.
What's this one?
Is it okay with the board?
I got a picture here if anybody wants to see it. That's just one area there.
You know what that is? Salt. Exactly what it is.
No, I'll go up there and look at it.
What's the board's pleasure? Want to do anything, or?
I don't know, I still think, I mean, as far as, it's gonna cost us to have a technician come out.
Well, I mean, they'll come out and do the pricing
For free?
of course, yes, for the proposal.
Maybe get a quote or an idea of what it would cost to replace it compared to the core. Because it might make more sense to add $1,000 to whatever instead of spending two. But
Well, again, and they'll be able to say if they need 2 bores or 3 bores to, depending on the surface area.
And at the same time, like Bill suggested, could we get a quote on repair?
Yes. I mean, we can pretty well guesstimate just on the square footage what it costs to have a contractor come in for market, fair market value to replace that area.
I'd make a motion to move forward to get a cost estimate for them to do the test bore.
so moved.
Second?
Can we add to that motion?
One second, sir.
Okay.
He moved.
And a cost to repair? An
Any
estimate?
motion, Mike?
And the cost to repair.
Okay, you second that, Bill?
Yes, sir.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Resolution.
Quote.
Number 7.
Resolution number 7.
This
Can I
is
ask-
the 911.
Can I ask a question? Can we vote where the money will come from for this first?
Well, you gotta wait till you get billed back for, probably do that, shouldn't you?
No, for the,
Oh,
The
for
rest of the-
911?
yeah.
60 grand.
Where do you want it to come from?
Well, your understanding is that there would have to be an additional appropriation for the 60, is that correct?
From Jackie, yes.
Okay.
And I didn't know that until
Me neither.
tonight.
Me neither.
I mean, I'd make a motion to take it from the 10 county grant program.
Well,
We're gonna be doing an additional appropriation then.
They won't do that, you know they won't.
I won't, I mean, I'm telling you, I won't. I'm not lying to you.
I'll second his motion to take the 60,000 from the 10-county grant.
There's no money.
Right. Not gonna put it back. I mean,
You're not gonna put it back, huh?
You don't take it out. We have to do an additional
100,000
appropriation
we
anyway.
know for sure is gonna come back.
You don't know for sure.
Oh, for sure, you know.
But that'll make it.
We approve or
after that,
decline the
they'll be over
grants.
1.1.
What is it?
They'll be over 1.1. They'll be right almost 1.2 after the 279. By what the clerk treasurer has. Deputy clerk treasurer.
Go ahead and bust them. Just the kids and the vets don't get their training. Do what you gotta do.
well, there's motion and a second.
I mean, there's only so much money to do things with. I mean, what do you do?
Well, it was earmarked for that, Mike. This here was. You can't keep robbing everybody else's budget, taking away from them.
Did we voted to give them that money?
We haven't yet, it was earmarked to do it. It was come back to.
I know, but it takes a vote to give it.
Yes, but it's come back.
Okay, I made a motion to take 60 from that line item to pay for this 911, because I definitely think we need 911.
And Leslie, if there's not enough for Ivy Tech, we can do that at the next meeting? Or the one after that?
Well, yeah, he said that they're coming here on the 6th, is that correct?
Yeah, that's the plan.
April 6th?
Yes.
As far as the additional appropriation for that, we would have some time to do the additional appropriation if you guys were gonna do that for Ivy Tech. We would have some time to do that, so.
Right. When Ivy Tech, we granted that grant, we cut them from 3 million down to 300,000. And part of that was they had to confirm that they had the funds, and the 300,000 was,
But we have not voted to give them that money.
Yeah, but we knew that there was 2.7 out there because we cut it back.
I made a
and
motion,
the
you guys
under-
are trying to pressure me
The
to change it.
understanding,
He's just explaining to you. He's not pressuring anybody.
Well,
the understanding
Wait a minute, he's
was, that-
speaking. Let us speak.
the
yes,
understanding,
sir.
the understanding was that they could come back and, request the balance, if you all elected to give them the balance. So, that's where we're at. I mean, I think we've communicated it, and it's known that it's out there, and it's something that, we felt was good for this area. And this program would rival the nursing program that currently runs down there, so.
Now, can I ask you a question? Since you've communicated, that kind of sounds like you've kind of promised it. Is that what you're saying?
No, I said I'm talking about communicating to this board.
Yeah,
this
I
board.
understand it was coming
We
forward.
have not promised anything, Mike. We don't, we go through the channels for the approvals.
Mr. Graber's well aware, he's been at many of the meetings, so he's well aware of the.
Okay, we got a motion on the floor, second. All right, we got a motion on the floor, it's been second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Resolution number 8.
I'm sorry, this will be resolution number 7.
Okay.
Do a
So,
roll call.
So we're going to oppose.
I did.
Roll call then.
Member Jane Pope,
Yes.
member Aaron Cook,
Yes.
member William Bruner,
No.
member Mike Lawrence.
Yes.
and that was to take the $60,000 for the 911 services from the 10-county grant line. This is resolution number 7, 2015, which would, it's a resolution regarding entering into the interlocal agreement with Dearborn County for 911 dispatching services. Whereas Indiana Code Section 36171, it authorizes state of Indiana political subdivisions and state agencies to enter into interlocal cooperation agreements for the joint exercise of powers by resolution or ordinance of a participating governmental entity. And whereas it is proposed that Dearborn County, Indiana, through its 911 Communications Center, shall furnish police dispatching services for the city of Lawrenceburg for the year of 2015. And whereas the city of Lawrenceburg, Indiana, wishes to enter into an interlocal agreement for said services under terms of the agreement, as said cooperation between the aforesaid political subdivisions will be of benefit to the citizens of the city of Lawrenceburg. Now therefore be it resolved that the Common Council of the city of Lawrenceburg, Dearborn County, Indiana, as follows. One, the City of Lawrenceburg does hereby authorize and approve the entry by the City of Lawrenceburg, Indiana into the interlocal agreement presented herewith, constituting an interlocal cooperation agreement by and among Dearborn County, Indiana, and the City of Lawrenceburg. This resolution shall become effective upon passage and upon compliance with the procedures required by law, passed by the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg, Dearborn County, Indiana, on the 17th day of March, 2015.
Third reading, entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Motion, Jane Pope. I'm sorry. Member Jane Pope.
This is for the 911.
This
right?
is the resolution.
Resolution, yes.
Member Aaron Cook.
Yes.
Member William Bruner.
No.
Member Mike Lawrence.
Yes.
There, please.
Okay, resolution number 8. Planning Commission.
Have you signed this here too? Pass along the back, please. Thanks. We have, the last resolution is for the Common Council approving the order of the Lawrenceburg Plan Commission, approving the declaratory resolution of the Lawrenceburg Redevelopment Commission. This has to do with an expanding of the it's escaping me, I'm sorry. What had to happen first was redevelopment had to pass a resolution, a declaratory resolution, which expanded the area that we established back when we did our TIF area. The resolution passed at the March 2nd meeting by the commission. The March 11th, I believe it was on March 9th. And then March 11th, the Plan Commission, because of the weather, they had their meeting that night anyway, and they also did an order which is attached. This is all according to the statute on how it has to work. So this resolution, the Common Council approving the order of Lawrenceburg Plan Commission, approving the declaratory resolution of Lawrenceburg Redevelopment Commission, whereas the City of Lawrenceburg City Redevelopment Commission adopted a declaratory resolution October 25, 2010, declaratory resolution establishing the Downtown Entertainment District Economic Development area, and declaring that the area is an economic development area and subject to economic development activities pursuant to Indiana Code 36.714 and 36.725, and all acts supplemental and amendatory thereto, the Act. And the declaratory resolution was confirmed by a confirmatory resolution adopted on November 22nd, 2010. Confirmatory resolution. And whereas the declaratory resolution established an allocation area in accordance with Indiana Code 36.71439, hereinafter allocation area, for the purpose of capturing property taxes generated from incremental assessed value of real property located in the allocation area. Whereas the declaratory resolution approved the economic development plan for the area, which plan contains specific recommendations for economic development in the area. And whereas the declaratory resolution and the confirmatory resolutions on hereinafter collectively referred to as the area resolution. And on March 9, 2015, the Commission adopted a resolution amending the declaratory resolution, the amending declaratory resolution, for the purpose of amending the area resolution to add certain real estate to the area 2015 area, as set forth in the map and parcel list attached as Exhibits A1 and A2 respectively to the amending declaratory resolution. And whereas on March 11, 2015, the Lawrenceburg Plan Commission adopted an order determining that the amended declaratory resolution in the plan conforms with the comprehensive plan and improving the mandatory declaratory resolution and plan. And whereas the act requires approval of the order of the Plan Commission described by the Lawrenceburg Common Council. Now therefore be ordered by the Lawrenceburg Common Council as follows. The order of the Lawrenceburg Plan Commission determining that a resolution amending the declaratory resolution and plan approved and adopted by the Lawrenceburg Redevelopment Commission conform to the comprehensive plan and approving said resolution and plan is hereby approved. The clerk treasurer is hereby directed to file a copy of the aforesaid order with the permanent minutes of this meeting. Passed by the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg, Dearborn County, Indiana, the 17th day of March, 2015.
Heard the motion, heard the resolution, entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Is that it?
Yep.
Any comments for the audience?
I got one thing, Mayor, real quick, is, this was from redevelopment, they were supposed to, be on the agenda. It's Mr. Snyder in the back, but, it wasn't on the agenda, and he didn't know until he got here. Because he brought it up at redevelopment, but they said he had to be at the council meeting.
Does it take a vote?
Huh?
Does it take a vote?
No, I don't think so, I don't really know. They told him it was a city council issue, and he'd be on the agenda, and when he got here, he realized
I
that
was
he
going to take a
wasn't.
vote, I'll let him talk, take a vote, no.
Okay.
Mayor, I got a comment before he makes his comment.
Go ahead.
When we voted on that money for Spillman, that is coming from the 10-county grant fund, right?
Right, you said you would put it back for the project, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. That we did.
There you go.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
He's just sitting there, signature.
Tom Schneider. I live on High Street in Lawrenceburg. What I gave you is a little bit of analysis of the parking places that are downtown. I brought this up at the redevelopment, and they said that it really wasn't a redevelopment item, and so I asked at that meeting if it could be put on the agenda for this meeting. But it wasn't put on the agenda, but I still wanted to bring it up because there is a problem parking downtown, okay? And there's going to be a problem, I believe, this weekend when the Home Builders Show is coming on Friday night, all day Saturday, and Sunday. And some of these numbers might be a little bit off, but there are 744 parking spots in the city garage, okay, of which I believe that the hotel gets either 160 or 180 of those spots. I went around and counted the number of spots in the other city / redevelopment parking places. And the total 744, and that total is 1,268 parking spots. Now, this included the High Street and included, the two parking areas on High Street, and it included on the street because there are no businesses there on High Street. It also included across from the courthouse, the adjacent to the county building, adjacent to the library, and behind American State Bank. And then it included the parking spots out here. So there are a total of about 1,268 parking spots, okay? If you use 1.5 people per car, you get about 1,800 people in the parking spots. The problem now is, and this has come up about, it's come up that I know of at least in three meetings about this 2-hour parking on Walnut Street. There are no signs there. There have never been any signs there that I'm aware of, okay? So, that means that people can go and park there. The 2-hour parking on High Street, if you put a sign up for no parking and people park there anyway and there's no penalty, and I'm not pointing the finger at the police. What I'm saying is, there are sufficient parking places downtown. The city has a parking garage of 744, okay, that they charge for concerts and for that sort of thing. I think it's either $4 or $5. So the city is losing money. At the last two concerts, there were 170 people who parked in the city garage and 200. Where were everyone else parked? They're parked in the alleys, okay? They're parked where they shouldn't be parking. They're parked all over the place. So when things are in the convention center on weekdays, what do the businesses do? Because people are parked where they shouldn't be parked. Not only that, employees of the hotel are parking downtown on city streets. And so, you know, the bank, UCB, pays for their employees to park in the parking garage. Why can't the hotel employees park in the parking garage? I mean, I know that the easy thing to say is, you ought to be glad because everybody's coming downtown. Or, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do about it because when the casino came, everyone parked in front of everyone's house over there, and there was, quote-unquote, nothing that anybody could do about it. What I'm suggesting is, look on the positive side of it. I know in Bloomington, Indiana, they have, maybe they've gone a little too far, but they have figured ways to do this. If we can't come to some arrangement, it's going to be even worse downtown because no one's going to be down there because there'll be no place for people to park to come to a business. So all I'm asking for is to look at it hard, see what other communities that have a similar problem, see what they've done. The other thing that really, really is important is to put the signs so that people come and park in that garage. One of the things, and again, I'm not pointing the finger at police, but there is auxiliary policemen, I believe. Maybe they don't have them anymore, but they used to have them, okay? Why can't they be assigned to tell people to move and to go down there and park, and the money be paid out of the revenue from the parking garage? The other thing is, if you drive down there, you cannot tell that there's public parking where there's public parking. You can't tell because there's no signs, there's no neon signs, there's no nothing. So all I'm asking for is that whoever, Mr. Mayor, that you decide should look into this, whether it's the police, whether it's Mario who gets stuck with a lot of this stuff, but certainly we'd be glad to help and figure out a way. If nothing's done, then we're going to have, what's going to happen is the same thing that happened when the casino came. Chairs are going to be in front of people's businesses, and you know, and it's going to be even worse. So see if you can find a way to.
Mario, won't you and the police get together with Tom and sit down and see what you come up with?
Thank you.
I got one suggestion. When we have these big events coming into town, have the police out there directing them to the parking garage.
That's what I suggested.
That's the way they do in downtown Cincinnati. You know, they got their Cincinnati police force.
He is short on manpower, okay, but I think that there are auxiliary policemen.
That's a good idea, too.
And pay the money out of the revenue from the garage, because you're gonna have more people parking in the garage.
I mean, we help people get in and out of the Speedway. There's no problem there. We help people get in and out of Dearborn County Fair. So we should be able to help people to get in and out of downtown city of Lawrenceburg to and from the parking garage.
Hey, Mike, you have something?
On the night of events, to clarify that, we do put people out there to direct them in and out of the events. I mean, try our best to get them into the garage. Going back to the 2-hour parking, what I'd like to do, if, it's totally up to the board. At one time, Jeff Fieldhouse, who is running the parking garage down here, had brought up the fact of trying to look into meters. Some of the older meters that Cincinnati was getting rid of because they were updating their newer meters. Of course, again, it would be up to the board or whoever wants to try and sit down and talk about it, but trying maybe to implement parking meters back in areas of the business areas downtown.
I think that'd hamper business.
I think that would too. And I think if you start ticketing people and towing people, I think they're going to change their habits real quick.
One of the ways that could be told, people could be told, is the ticketing. The ticketing for these shows. If it says parking in the city garage, and instead of charging $75 for the ticket, they charge $80, okay? And then people get to park in the garage, and the city or the garage, you can make whatever arrangements you have to make to get the money. There are different ways to do it.
Well, Dennis, you're gonna be on this committee with them. Police and Mario and you and Tom.
I will. I mean, you're gonna be
downtown.
Well, you're gonna be real happy with me. I only need 30 seconds.
I've never seen you stop 30 seconds.
Time it. During Board of Works, a very extremely prestigious award was given to Lawrenceburg. And that's pretty prestigious.
Utilities.
Utilities. I'm sorry, during the utility section. And it just hit me that you've been here a while, but a name, he wasn't here tonight, but a name that should be included in those accolades is Mel Davis, because it was under his stewardship that a lot of that happened. So I just thought the mayor might want to put that on the record. Thank you.
And so, he's the first person I called actually to let him know about the award.
I just called Mel, he gave me $10.
That figures. Pat, you got something?
Can I say something about the parking first?
Yeah, go ahead. Patty's gonna say something, you go ahead.
On the parking issue, I would like to find out legal opinion of can you stop people from parking on a public street?
I mean,
Well, I understand you're saying, yeah, I'm asking for some legal.
one of the things that Bloomington did, and Bloomington did it, I know because I used to get tickets because I'd park in there.
I'm not saying they didn't do it. I'm asking if you can legally do this.
It was definitely enforced, but the whole reason was because it's all the residential areas right close to campus at IU, and people that live there had no place to park at all. So, and I think that's been fairly successful. There. I mean, that's definitely something we could look into again. The problem with the one we had before was particular spaces. We found out you can't, because that's a public right of way, you can't reserve a certain space, even though you might clean the snow off of it. And, I even saw people in Boston, they had the 15 feet of snow, and, the one guy in front of their house cleared the snow, and then the neighbor came over and parked in it, and it wasn't, he wasn't very happy at all. But they explained even on that, it's a public right of way, and so, but we can look into if we get a committee together. I think that would be a good thing, and we can look into either re-implementing the residential ways to help the police, enforce the 2-hour and look at those extra lots as far as for special events.
Can we get some signs up on Walnut Street?
We put on a reader board probably. Hey, the committee get together and bring something back. Okay, Pat.
Okay, what I was going to say is, for a small town, we are blessed with an incredible amount of parking. If you start adding up the parking garage and all the surface lots, as Tom mentioned. And Tom and I have been having this discussion back and forth about the parking. And, I think maybe before we go to any extreme measures, maybe we need to do the obvious. I drove down Walnut Street, and I'm from 50 down Walnut, and I try to do this every once in a while to kind of see how everything looks. And if you're coming into this town, you've got no idea where anything is. If you're looking for that event center, and Kelly and I have had a discussion about some signage at the entrance, but what I'm saying is that there's nothing that says to the person coming down, convention center parking or event center parking, straight ahead. We should have those things, at least 4 different signs going down Walnut Street. And then for all the surface lots we have, I happened to notice the other day in Aurora, they've got the banners, whatever you can do, signs, banners, public parking, free public parking. We're really hurting for signage, and I think maybe before we go to extreme measures of thinking about meters and getting into that whole argument and everything, maybe we just can do a few upgrades on signage and see what happens. Let's try that first. I mean, that could be easily done. I mean, I can take it to my board. Maybe there's some money that we can take out of one of our funds to implement that.
I think Kelly's been talking to Hollywood about it too.
Yes.
Put the signs.
Yeah. That's one at the entryway. That's kind of a bigger project that we've discussed. But these would be smaller projects. Maybe we try that and see if it works. Maybe our problem isn't as bad as we think it's going to be.
You have to get Mike Clark so he gets through the ordinances, the sign ordinances. We gotta do it all by law.
Oh, and then also, I do think with the new website, I mean, we could definitely use that as far as mapping and how you get to the event center, or where, you could even have, listed all the different businesses and restaurants and so on and so forth.
Right. But I just think simple signs might make a big difference for us, and we've kind of overlooked that.
I think Tom hit it right. They ought to charge $5 more on that ticket. Then they have to park in that garage.
Our generation does.
We'll look into that.
We don't look at signs on the road.
Okay, anybody else in the audience? Paul? Parking, Paul, or what?
It's concrete. You guys, you're gonna open up a can of worms. You got concrete chipping all over this town, concrete chips. You don't know what half these communities are putting on the road. And, my comment is another good example, is you had one good concrete guy turn in a bid on a pretty good job. And right now, everybody's looking for work. Part of the reason why you ain't getting anybody turning any bids in this is because, hell, nobody wants to work for you. They can't guarantee this work like you want it guaranteed. Nobody does that. You need to end this stuff. And and I'm not against this guy, I don't know him. I've got a driveway behind my house. I can pick up 3 or 4 of those. But I'm driving down the road, I'm picking up salt, I'm bringing it home, and it's happening right where it's at. If you do this, you're going to get 50 calls, at least. You need to say, it's not warranted, it's out of warranty, it's yours, it's wearing out. When you need to fix it, fix it. That's that. Simple as that. The other thing you got is if you do decide to fix his, come to my house. Go look at your curbs all around town. I don't care what they say, you don't know what anybody's putting on the roads. It's all chipping. Your sidewalks are chipping. Yes, they are. Take a good walk. I walk around town a lot. Mario, you know it is. It's spot chipping. A lot of curbs, especially where you come in and out of the alleys and you see the concrete, but wherever the people park, you're going to see it. You're not going to stop it. You can pour new cement there if you want. It ain't going to stop. Bad program. We've been talking about it 5 years. Needs to get over with.
We're glad it's over with.
And we need to get over it quick.
I agree with you 100%, Paul. But what do you say to somebody that comes to you when the city decided to get in the contracting business?
Well, I don't know.
That's
The
what
city-
exactly, they acted as the contractor.
City had a bad program, need to end it. But I'm gonna tell you something, this area is blessed. I've been all over the country, and this area has got a lot of real good concrete people in it, and you ought to all be embarrassed that you had one bid come in and bid a pretty nice job this time of year. You should have 4 or 5 guys trying to price that. And I know the reason why they're not showing up. If they would do it on their own, if they would have went to this guy's house and poured that concrete and went up there and seen it where it's coming off the cars, that's salt. And for those of you who think that there ain't products out there that ruin concrete, you're wrong. Hell, I did a restaurant 15, 20 years ago. I was gone 3 weeks. The snow came. I went back, got some calls. Every bit of the sidewalk was chewed up. Went in the maintenance room. They had bags of calcium everywhere. There's things out there that eat cement. So the guy don't know what he picked up. He don't know what he brought in. I know it's happening at my house. I know it's happening on the curbs around my house, and I know it's happening around town. It's not anything you can walk away from. Unless you get yourself away from this, you ain't going to end it no time soon at all. You've got to tell him it's not warranted. Closing it out, as far as I'm concerned, you can just tell them all. We don't want no more money. We don't want to hear no more about it. Bad mistake.
That sounds
Write it off. You know, I don't want to hear it another 3 years. And I'm pretty sure that this town will never pour any more cement unless it's for them with all this stuff I've heard about it.
Thank goodness.
So, lesson learned, end it.
Anybody else? Thank you, Paul.
Building restaurants.
Hey, Paul, you ought to been a preacher.
I need
You ought to been a preacher. You ought to been a preacher. Oh, my God.
The only other thing that we have in the packets, and I know we're at the discussion, I'm sorry, comments from the audience. There was a letter in there from Deer Run Golf Resort, basically inviting you all to come to have a meeting at the facility. We can address it on the 30th if you'd like, but I just wanted to make sure you realize that was in there.
And just for the record, since you brought that up, Suzanne had word from Jackie that she's still looking for appraisals.
You still looking for?
Appraisals on that.
Okay.
On the country club.
Review and discuss claims board approval.
I've got a comment. It's not on these claims. There's a possibility that this council may deny, I'm not 100% sure, I don't know how the vote's going to go, may deny the claims that come in for the marketing firm and the changing of the city logos. I just wanted to give you a heads up, instead of her going through all those contracts and looking at all that and hiring a firm or hiring somebody to come in to change our city logos, when those invoices hit our accounts payable register, it's a very great possibility that they will be denied.
Okay.
Can I question that to Leslie? Leslie, can this board take a vote ahead of time that no future claims will be approved for a marketing firm or a change of logo?
Well, I'm not sure, because I talked about with Kelly recently, the Board of Works is the one that has approved all of those, and they will approve those. I had talked to Jackie like 2 years ago, because the Board of Works claims are also encompassed in all of your claims. And I think that's duplicated. But there's no way with the system that we have to do that.
I mean, I maybe with the new program that we got 6 months ago, it's possible we could do a report a little different. That's something we would have to research, but.
So, there's that question there. I believe, for services, on these bids were done, a contract for services would be signed by the Board of Works.
When Mr. Hayden came in and explained my questions at the last meeting, he said, Jane, he said, you can deny any individual voucher or claim on your accounts payable register.
Right.
We have the authority to do that.
As far as for Board of Works claims, though, that's what I'm unclear about.
Yeah,
We've
there's
talked-
also something else that you need to research, and that's from a conversation that I had with one of the state board a couple years ago. Anything out of 284 and 280, council does.
Okay.
What gives the Board of Works the power to spend the money when it's the council's?
Because it's appropriated.
Appropriated money, that's how.
Because you've already approved appropriation within the budget.
But can you find out the true legal answer to that, and with what fund it's coming out of?
Yes.
All right, we'll get
And
back to agenda.
One other, just part of this, real quick. I just wanted to
Oh, yeah.
make sure that nothing is done with the marketing firm until the answer comes back on that.
She was going to bring that back anyway.
Right, but I just wanted to,
All right.
on record.
We're going to review, discuss claims, board approval.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion adjourned.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You made the motion.
Some guy got in an argument with somebody's neighbor, and they showed up at his house, and then he shot the house.
Well, I tell you what.
Going down really slow, but it's coming up back here in the back.
Yeah. He didn't do the
Time for work here.
Court of Appeals. Yeah.
Yeah, he initially took all the land.
How much you making up?
Every morning.
Oh,
no. I already have the surgery. I already repaired my car. How about you? They gotta change it every single day.
Good luck with that. Come on.
No, it was actually sticker stranded in the streets.
Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding me?
We were over there taking him to he showed up at their place.
The only way it'll happen for us, Charlie's sick right now, I don't know what all that is.
Where he lived, and he's seen him.
If everything stays all right with me and Larry, I'll be fine.
He's in jail.
More American.
Might take them, it might take them a long time.
I'm gonna stick that up. Who knows? I'll find out for sure.
I don't live with her enough
You did get your, you got the utility ordinance here, but you guys know to hold off on to it, because we had to do this. That was the, right, okay. Okay. So, is it okay, I mean, can you just change that part, or do you need to know exactly where it is, I guess? Okay, okay. I'll just send a new one then. Okay, because we're only supposed to have it within 30 days, so we'll have plenty of time before you accept it.
Most of them did.
Right. Exactly. So we should be able to get it exercised if we can get it to you by Friday. Yeah. Well, tomorrow morning, Wednesday. No, that was today, right? So Friday for Tuesday. I'll shoot for that. Thanks.
I mean, I understand, and there's gotta be a solution, and we're doing the best we can.
You take care, you quit exercising. You don't need to get away, not lose weight. Seriously. How you doing, sir?
He's been offered all I'm never showed up. He wants to bring it up in a public meeting.
They should come in and do a program.
I agree, I do. But you know what? We've been doing it for
60 foot on that front slope, see if that works.
I wish I could